Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode here on the SitRep podcast. I am your host this afternoon, Oriskany Jim, and today I am joined by my friend down under, Mr. Dylan. Mr. Dylan, how are you doing?
Hey Jim, I'm doing really good.
Alright, so what we're going to do today is we're going to try something a little different, sort of a game within a game. We're going to do an exercise that actually does take place in real life every 2 years called Exercise Talisman Sabre. This is a joint exercise that the United States and a lot of her Pacific allies undertake every 2 years out in the Western Pacific. So it's predominantly Australia, although New Zealand also takes part, South Korea, Japan, and others. We're going to create Exercise Talisman Sabre in Panzer Leader. So where a big part of this takes place is a place called Shoalwater Bay training area there in Queensland, Australia, which is where Dylan hails from. So Dylan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you know about Shoalwater Bay training area?
Cool. Shoalwater Bay is about 150 k's north of a place called Rockhampton and a place called Yeppoon, which is Rockhampton is the big cattle city where all the most of the cattle get sort of sold from. Yeppoon is the little coastal town, and then 150 k's north of that is Shoalwater Bay. I've been to Yeppoon once, and I stayed there for a week. And in that week, I saw a whole bunch of crocodiles swimming in the ocean.
Oh.
So that's sort of the level of it's what we would call sort of North Queensland. Which, if you think North Queensland is sort of like the opposite of America, so think like Florida or like Alabama, that sort of area. So it's more rural, more dangerous, but it's nice and empty. So it's perfect for this sort of stuff.
All right, so again, zooming in, this is a spot that I picked to have today's exercise in. I wanted to get some terrain. I actually, spotted some beaches I could land at. I wanted to get some kind of a road network behind the beach. Pretty much I was almost playing the Marine Colonel for a second here before the game. Trying to find a spot that, I could actually land at. I was trying to get Williamson Airfield on the table. But as everyone knows here on the SitRep podcast, I'm a big stickler for scale. And at 150 meter hexes, this would have to be like a 70 hex table, which is fine. I have a 70 hex table. You guys have seen it in my Brigade U.S. Marine Corps game for the Gulf War, but it would make for a terribly fun stream. The game would take like 6 hours. So what we're aiming for here are the roads that lead to the airfield. So the units involved are going to be the real life units that might actually participate not only in Exercise Talisman Sabre, but God forbid if a fight ever actually did take place in this part of the world, even if it's not U.S. versus Australians, the Chinese might do something stupid down here. I mean, who knows? This is why we do exercises, to be ready for things. But we're looking at 7th Brigade, 1st Australian Division, which among other units does include 2nd and 14th Battalions of Light Horse Regiment. And if I said that right, Dylan, fact check me on that one.
Yep, you got it.
And 6th Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment. So these two battalions are part of 7th of the 1st, and they are they're going to make up the predominance of the units that we see on today's table. The Marines, meanwhile, the United States Marine Corps is coming in with the 31st MU, which sounds kind of funny. It's a Marine Expeditionary unit. Basically, it's a battalion, in this case, 1st of the 5th, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines. And then what they do is Marines are very good at Lego blocking units together for a specific actual mission. These are some of the ships that we're coming in at. We are coming in from LCUs, Landing Craft Utility. These are pretty much I say modern, they're all 40 years old. There are new LCU 2000s coming out in the next couple of years, but they're not going to be ready for a while. So we're still using these old LCU 1700 classes. You can see here where they do carry Abrams, they do carry vehicles. He's got 4 Humvees in there along with 2 Abrams. So they can carry a fair amount. But they are very old. But they do drop out of the backup our LCAs and our our LPHs, our big amphibious warfare ships, which I'll show you guys in just a second. So yeah, that's what we're looking at there. Now here are some of the weapons that we're going to see in today's game. The Australians are using the Boxer CRV. This is something pretty new. They're just buying these, I think, from the Germans. They're buying Block 1 from the Germans. For Block 2, they're going to start transitioning, not only buying them from the Germans, but also building them under license in Australia. And they're going to start building some additional variants in Australia. But for this game, we just have the Block 1s, which have the 30mm cannon. I'm giving them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, and I'm putting some of the Spike anti-tank guided missiles on these, which I don't think are going to be in Block 1, but I'm bringing them in anyway because there's not that many of them, and there's a lot of Marines coming. One big advantage the Australians do have is they do have some of our tanks, the M1A1 Abrams. Now the M1A2 SEP V3 Abrams, the new biggest and baddest ones, are joining the Australian Defence Force starting in 2024, so they will not be in today's game. So what we're looking at here are the relatively old school Gulf War era M1A1s, which, trust me, are still badass enough, especially since, as we all know, the Marine Corps gave away all their Abrams or put them in storage relatively recently. Long story short, Oriskany has to beat a force of tanks with no tanks. My Marines have no actual tanks. What I do have are Lightnings, the F-35Bs. That's a specific Marine Corps variant, along with some new missiles that became available only to the United States Marine Corps as of March 2022. So literally, what is that, 3 minus 10, like less than about 6 months ago. So yeah, we are doing modern warfare. And we also have the HIMARS that everyone's been reading about in the Ukraine recently. As we see here in this photo, and we do have documented evidence of it, the Marines have successfully, the Marine Corps only, Marines do have some HIMARS. The Marines have successfully tested launching the HIMARS off of a deck of an LPH, one of our amphibious warfare ships. They did have to tweak the electronics a little bit to fire it off of a moving platform and have it still hit with the regular accuracy that the HIMARS is, to which the HIMARS is accustomed. But all said, we do have some pretty serious off-board fire support. We're going to need it because we have no tanks. So here's the research that we did very briefly, just to show like what units we're bringing in. Again, 7th Brigade, 1st Division is based out of Brisbane, and I do see a heavy mechanized unit here. If you learn to read these NATO insignias, or these little NATO annotations here, symbology. And I'm taking a little bit of a guess here, but if anyone's going to have Abrams, it's going to be 6th Battalion Royal Australian Regiment, because this little heavy, that little vertical line there, that denotes a heavy mechanized unit. So heavy mechanized infantry, that's probably where the tanks are. If they're not there, they're with the 2 and 14th Light Horse Regiment. It's all fine. Either way, they're here. Alright, so with all that out of the way, here's our map for today's game. Again, I showed you kind of where it was in the Shoalwater Bay training area before. The Marines are landing on this beach to the best of their ability. There are 5 objectives. Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, and Zulu. So the Marines have to actually land on the water. They do have air superiority, the exercise assumes. Trust me, the Marines would not be landing if they didn't control the air. So the Marines do have air superiority. There will be some helicopters on the Australian side, but no Australian fighter jets. The Australians are entering the board from the west. So this is not like Australians versus Marines Saving Private Ryan. There are not Australians with machine guns and pillboxes ready to machine gun us as we come out of the water. Pretty much this is a rapid reaction. The Australian Army cannot protect the entire coastline of Australia, like Atlantic Wall style. They saw the Americans come in. The Americans are coming in fast. That's why our force is so small, i.e. we're coming in with a Marine Expeditionary unit, not a brigade or a force. We're landing with a relatively small force, and the Australians are rushing up to the battle area with a response force. Again, elements of 7th Brigade, 1st Australian Division. Alright, and here are our units. We'll go through this super quick. I know I say that every week, but this time I mean it. So what we have here for the Australians, their main force is pretty much their version of what the U.S. Army calls a team. So a team is what happens to a unit when it deploys. So what happens sometimes is, okay, you have a mechanized battalion, you have an armored battalion. It's really tough to maintain those units intermingled in peacetime. That's double the training, double the maintenance, double the barracks, double the support assets. It's a pain in the ass. So in peacetime, you want your units siloed. All your tanks are in this battalion. All your APCs are in this battalion. Your mechanized infantry are in this battalion, and so on. That's in peacetime. In wartime, we all know combined arms. You cannot send in tanks without infantry and vice versa. You've got to mix it up. So what NATO and Western Allied armies often do is when units deploy, like one company in this battalion and one company in that battalion will trade one platoon each. So you've got here a tank-heavy team. And it's pretty much a tank company, XO and CO, executive officer and commanding officer, so half values. One platoon, two platoon. Where's the third platoon of tanks? They traded it. It's somewhere else. And what they got instead was a platoon of mechanized infantry in what the Marines are going to find awfully. In fact, we may steal some of these and take them home. The ASLAV, which is basically the Marine Corps LAV-25, just in Australian service. So both sides are using this exact same vehicle here. Along with, again, some of those Boxer CRVs, combat reconnaissance vehicles with anti-tank missiles. Now the Marines look scary. Notice no tanks. And a lot of their stuff is transport. AAV-7, AAV-7, AAV-7. It's a lot of thin-skinned transport. Marine rifle platoons are badass though. So do not let these guys gang up on you. Again, we are using Tactical Command Middle East rules based on Arab-Israeli wars for infantry fire versus armored vehicles. If too many of these guys get close, even to those Abrams, you're in a lot of trouble. And there are a lot of them. Also note, Marines have a defense factor of 10. Everybody else has an 8 in this game. Unless you're like, Russian conscripts or militia, then you go down to a 6s or 7s. This isn't just because Marines are tougher than most other units, although to be honest they are. It's just because Marines organize in bigger units. So again, this is a platoon. Notice the 3 dots over the unit symbol. A Marine squad, most squads are 8 men, maybe 9. A Marine squad is now up to 15 people. And 3 of those together go together into a platoon. And then there's, the platoons organized into even bigger companies. A Marine company can be upwards of 200 people, which is, in the modern era, ridiculously huge. So that's the reason for the higher Marine defense factor. It's not bias for the guy who designed the scenario. All right, so I went ahead and started. The Marines have now, this is where the Marines have set up their landings. This is the planned location. Then there are some special rules. Anyone who's played one of my D-Day scenarios knows how this works. I set up my LCUs, I set up my AAV-7s, I make an approach roll. Whether or not I hit the right hex or I drift the hex to the left, I drift the hex to the right. If units stack up on top of each other, one of them gets pushed out of the way, so I can't load until next turn. And then once I find out where everyone's actually landing, they have to make a roll to make sure nothing gets dropped in the surf. Sure enough, I've already started turn 1, and the first Marine unit is burning. Or I should say sinking. One of my AAVs flipped over in the surf and sank. So, again, this is an exercise. Nobody's actually dead. Hopefully nobody got hurt in that accident. But long story short, those AAV-7s are being towed back somewhere off to the side. Maintenance is going to fix them. Those guys are going to Battalion Aid Station. This unit is combat ineffective for the duration of this exercise. Everybody else has landed where they're supposed to. This guy got delayed. So 1 through a 4, the unit lands normally. A 5, it's delayed 1 turn. This guy's back 1 hex, he got delayed. So is this landing craft utility. So that's 3 units that got delayed there. And this guy was here. He was going to land in 4021, but then he drifted to the left. So now, he has ended up in a spot where there's no beach. Notice there's no beach graphic there. Alright, at long last, Marines are complete. Although So again, Marines have already lost, technically, 3 units. So someone is going to be standing tall in the Colonel's office for that one. The Colonel's going to be like, you did what? We flipped the AAV over, sir. We dumped 30 Marines and about, $2 million worth of equipment into the surf. How exactly did you do that? Well, sir, we were drinking this rum last night, and these women that we met, they looked pretty hot at the time, but I think that was the rum talking. And well, we barely made it for morning muster, and yeah, and then we flipped the damn track over. All right, so okay, finally, sorry about all that, guys. Marines are done moving. Marine turn 1 complete. So now, Australian Center from anywhere on the western side of the map.
Okay.
All right, cool. So that concludes turn 1. Since nobody has any fire, we now begin turn 2. Okay, turn 2. We begin with plot artillery. Can my drones see anything immediately that my HIMARS can hit? Let me find out. I want to say yes. Make this a little easier to handle. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Alright, so the Marines have a HIMARS system aboard the deck of USS America, LCH-6. LPH-6. Can I see anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, by 1 hex. By 1 hex, dude. Damn it. Within 10 hexes, guys, that Predator drone, or it's not really a Predator drone, it's actually not, it's an RQ-21 Blackjack, that's a specific drone the Marine Corps uses nowadays, can image and acquire a target even if he's under cover. So I don't think he has anything in the open. And nothing within 10 hexes of my drone. Nothing within 4 hexes of any of my infantry, my dismounted infantry. So no mini drones, those like the handheld palm drones. No drones can see anything yet. Okay, so having artillery to plot. Alright, moving on to turn sequence. Resolve artillery, no airstrikes. Do I want to use any of my airstrikes? I've got 2 airstrikes. Survey says no, because again, not a whole heck of a lot is spotted at the moment. So I will leave that alone. Alright, therefore I must go to direct fire. Again, I don't really have anything, so we're going to go straight to movement. Alright, movement starts with the, he has successfully landed, he's backing away. This guy is going to try to land again. Okay, that's his sequence, that's his hex. Let's see if he goes where he's supposed to. Oh no! Hold on guys, my camera got usurped. Okay, there we go. Here we go with, see if my Amtrak lands in the correct hex this time. 3, it does land in the correct hex. Okay, a 5, it delays. 6, it sinks. Another delay. What the hell's up with these guys, man? We don't feel like landing. For crying out loud. This guy has landed and pulled back. Okay, this guy, the LCU. He does go to the correct hex, which is this one. Okay, and does he make it this time? 4, yay! Marines actually got out of the water. Like, Marines, this is what you do. You have one job. Jump out of the water and go on land, and you can't do it. What's going on over here? Alright, so they've landed, and this guy's landed. Alright, cool. So, who needs that? Combat engineers. That's a good defense unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Those movement points go fast when you're off-road. It only gets me one more point, but alright, that works. Alright. Up the road, down the road, and then duck into cover behind, into these trees. Alright, he backs up. Alright, who else is left? These clowns. He's gonna try to land here. Come on, guys. Figure it out. Goes to the right hex. And he's out of the boat. Alright, awesome. 1. Tracked vehicle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get under cover. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unload. These clowns. God bless. Yeah, the reason I don't unload them in this hex guy, everybody, I should say guys, 1902 or 1903, in order to unload a vehicle, that counts as half my movement. If a vehicle spends half his movement in enemy line of sight, those Abrams saw that, and they can take opportunity fire. So we're going to unload back from the tree line, and then these guys next turn probably are going to belly crawl up there, and they'll be a little bit safer that way. Oops. Use the roads, dummy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You can barely do that. And you only spend 3 movement points in your line of sight, so did not trigger opportunity fire. Oh, wait, I wanted him where I was. I think that's it for my movement. Oh wait, no it's not. Reload. Damn it. Not the smartest. Because it cost me 2 to move up that slope. Alright, that will be it for my movement. Over to your movement, Dylan. I'll catch up on the chat. Hello, Nathan Gunn. Yeah, Nathan Gunn, it hasn't really started shooting yet. I have lost some units in the landing because accidents happen. So an AAV-7, I guess, flipped over in the surf or broke down, sank in the surf, something happened, sprung a leak. So, I mean, it's just an exercise. Nobody's dead, clearly. However, an AAV platoon and 2 platoons, because again, those AAVs carry like 20, 30 guys apiece. I got two platoons of Marine rifles that are out of gas. All right, Dylan, over to your plot artillery, if you want.
Okay. Just trying to see what I would have that could be able to spot hexes.
Yeah, so far we've been kind of playing peekaboo for a while there.
Yeah.
The bad news for me is that you've got 3 objective X's, so the burden of the assault is on me. I'm going to have to take one other objective X in order to win. I have to have at least 3 out of 5.
Okay, I have got my artillery for next turn.
Were you looking for your drone?
Oh no, I've got my artillery for next turn. I've plotted it down.
Oh, are you sure you have anything spotted? If you don't,
I can just drop it on a hex.
You drop it on a hex, and if you don't have the unit spotted, you have to roll to scatter.
Yeah,
yeah, you can totally call in a blind mission. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's just a completely wild guess. That's all.
No worries. All right. Cool. Then we go. There was no artillery last turn. I don't know if there's any direct fire, but just in case.
My mortar.
Uh-oh.
Just a bit of smoke.
All right, he can call in the smoke, and it can land right now if he has a direct line of sight on the hex. If he wants to drop smoke and he can't see the hex, he has to call it in as an artillery mission.
Yeah.
So does he see the hex that he wants to call it in on?
No, let's plot that one as well.
All right, then any of your combat units can see the hex that you intend. Yeah, you just write it down, and it drops next turn.
Yep, got it.
And it's just before anyone asks, it is considered hot smoke, some sort of willy peat or chemical smoke, so opaque to because everything here is a thermal sight. It's opaque in infrared wavelengths as well. It blocks thermal sights as well. Okay, that's okay. So I don't know if there's any direct. You tell me if there's any direct fire or not.
I don't. Your drone.
Right. So the drone.
There, but
Yeah, there's my drone, but none of your guys can reach it yet.
Yeah. No, I think that's no direct fire.
Okay. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, technically these guys do have line of sight on that drone and can hit it if they want. They give away their position if they do.
I'm happy to just sit there.
Okay.
Actually, you've got that. You've got that off-board stuff, don't you? I think they're going to have to shoot at the drone.
All right.
You got some support stuff. I don't want hitting me.
Okay, so it is 16 points. Let me before we commit to that, we see if it's worth it. Let's consult the WEC. So technically, it's an A-class weapon, although not really. It's an A-star. It's an autocannon versus aircraft. Okay, it's at more than 7 hexes, so it's going to be half firepower. Yeah, it's considered an AA gun for this thing. It's an automatic cannon. So at greater than 7 hexes versus flying aircraft, it's half. So those 2 8s are going to be basically 1 8 versus my 8. It's going to be only 1 to 1. So it's up to you.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
It'd be worth it to shoot it down.
Cool.
So.
Roll a d6. He's on the 1-to-1 column here, folks.
Okay, here we go. A 2.
He is dispersed. And
Ooh,
you are
nice.
spotted. But that drone is having to dodge fire right now. It can't spot at the moment. Alright.
That may have been a big mistake, but we'll see.
Well, here's the thing. With that drone up there, I can either spot those two or anything within 10 hexes of that drone. So you may have made the better bargain, at least for the moment. Would have been better if you shot him down. You need a 1 for that.
That would have been nice. I think I needed a 1 or something. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be the end of my direct fire.
Okay, we go to movement.
Movement. I'm going to move my drone basically straight up to the north. Just zip up behind trees and stuff. Da-da-da-da.
Like so?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9.
Alright, the drone's
And I'll
got...
put him on...
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry.
Drone's got...
pretty-
Drone has line of sight like everybody else, so right now he can't see anything.
Yep. I'll move him up to 12 or 8.
Got it.
So he'll sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that should be fine. The vehicle on objective Yankee
Yep.
will move to 0703.
Come out of those concrete buildings. I know it's nice and comfy in there, but... Clearly, he did not spend a quarter of his movement in my line of sight, but these guys did see all that. They just didn't see it for nearly enough time.
Yeah, that's there's some pucker factor there. I imagine, like coming down the hill.
That is
around the
move,
corner.
drive fast. I mean, honestly, you made it easily. You were 1, 2, and you have to spend 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't even come out of second gear. Relax, sir, relax. I can't shoot him that fast. See, we made it. It's all fine.
The Bushmaster unit there will dismount.
Okay, we are the combat engineers.
Yep.
Cool. And if he wants, the Bushmaster still has half his movement.
He will.
Go ahead.
He'll just stay put.
Cool. Again, folks, he did it correctly. Back 1 hex. If you unload in the tree line where I can see him, that was half of his movement.
Yep.
And then toes start flying out of these woods. Little eagle globes and anchors on the friggin' nose cones, which is why they can't hit anything, because the dumbass Marines painted eagle globes and anchors over the television camera that guides the tow missile. And we wonder why the missiles don't hit anything. And the colonel, who was already upset, is just fuming some more back aboard the America. Guys are embarrassing me in front of these Australians. Everyone's doing extra PT. I will PT you all until you die.
The helicopters.
All right.
I'm gonna be careful with this. They're gonna move into 0903.
Whoa. Okay. Now I can shoot at you, but not now.
Yep.
Because, again, my fire phase, I can shoot at anything I can see. Unfortunately, I cannot shoot at you right now because... whatchamacallit? Opportunity fire.
I didn't move more than...
Not nearly a quarter. Which would be, what, 13 hexes? Yeah, it's the same number. Okay, any other movement in this little northern battle group?
Nope, they're pretty good.
This is definitely his left hook up here, guys. His attack helicopters and all his armor. His big-ass Abrams. So, yeah. This is it doesn't look like it, but when you look at the map and you kind of take a census of what these units are, this is like 80% of his firepower is right up here. So, here is where I've got some really bad news for you, Mr. Dillon.
Yes, thought so.
I do have some additional units. They pop up behind you. Let me find it here. So they pop up behind you and they immediately cat attack. These are my indigenous allies. 100-point emu swarm. Comes out of nowhere. Ever since that stupid war back in 1910 or whatever it was, that semi-autonomous republic, Emu Republic you guys have had out in the outback has been a sham. We know it. It actually is. You know, so when we jump out of the water, our Emu allies are going to leap up, rise up in their millions, and do something stupid. They have 100 points, B attack class, because of course stupid. And there we go. But in all seriousness.
I love that token, by the way. That's hilarious.
Yeah, hey. It's one, they don't have guns, so they have to only do close attack. But if they do get close to you, watch out. They have a killer close-up attack factor, as the Australian military can attest. -5 to any morale check. All the Australians jump out of the tanks and run away. We capture the tanks. Alright.
I don't know what idiot decided to cull emus with the 2 worn-out Lewis guns. Like, what the dumbest thing I can think of.
Is that what it was? I remember it was a machine gun. I wasn't sure of the exact. I don't know if they were Vickers or Lewis guns or.
Yeah, it was like the two Lewis guns. They've just run ammo through non-stop for like 3 years, and they're like, "Oh, just get 2 guys in a beat-up truck and just go shoot a bunch of emus." And things just kept jamming.
Nice.
It's a terrible idea.
All right, cool. So in all seriousness, any other movement in that northern battle group?
No, the north's pretty good.
He has a fire mission, so he can't move unless his vehicle wants to move.
No, the vehicle's fine.
All right. These guys fired, but they can still move half because they do have turrets.
Yep, they'll stay with it. They are.
All right. Any movement in this little southern group?
Yes. Okay, the guys there in the Bushmasters, that sort of company there.
Yep. It's all your support guys. javelins, weapon section, and man pads.
Actually, the two boxes will move 1 hex south. That'll be their total movement.
Displace.
And the javelin team will move into the hex they were in. Don't know if I'll be able to dismount.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just no.
Yeah, just no. All good.
The weapons section, just as a point of rules, here could jump into that hex and dismount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is less than 16, less than half of 16.
Yep.
All right.
Which is what they'll do. They'll do that just to get some covering units there.
Damn it! Stop picking up the map. All right, so the hex is looking kind of crowded, guys. What's going on here is 1 unit is dismounted and 1 unit is not. I actually didn't want to group them. I just wanted to move them to the front. So the normal stacking limit is 3. This counts as 1 unit for stacking purposes because those javelins are still in the Bushmasters. Then there's another Bushmaster that's 2 stacking units, and the weapon section is out of the Bushmaster. That's a total of 3 stacking units. So that hex is legal, although currently maxed.
And the other unit will move into 0917 and then dismount.
All right.
Yeah, man. It should give me some.
Hello, Ben. Don't
Fields.
worry about being late. We started only at 4 because we're accommodating some really bizarre time zones today. All right. So, any other movement?
No, I think I'm good. Yep. I'll dismount all the infantry in objective X-ray.
Ooh, that might cause an issue.
Yeah, I think you've got some line of sight.
Okay, in the X-ray, the 1 guy can dismount. That's no problem. Then there's the headquarters unit in there. If he dismounts, it's going to cause a stacking problem.
Okay.
4 units.
So I'll dismount and then I'll move the transport out. Yep, and then dismount and then do the same thing. And then the same with the other units there.
All right, no worries there stacking wise. No worries there stacking wise. Cool.
And that's the end of my turn.
Awesome. Cool. Begin turn 3. Okay, first of all, can these clowns finally get out of the water? Actually, let me go by the rules here. He's dispersed, so we can call in nothing. There was nothing last turn. Airstrikes. No airstrikes. Then we go to direct fire. Okay, so first of all, let me actually roll for it. He does rally. Everyone's morale A. Not only are these units elite, but no one's actually getting fired at, so no one's actually terrified. So rally is going to be automatic. Because that takes place during the attack phase. I think that was going to be it for my actual normal attack phase. The only thing I can attack with now is helicopters. So I start my movement phase. First, let me see if this clown can finally get out of the water. It's kind of annoying. Where am I going to put him? I'm going to put him now. Can you land here, dude? What do you say? I'm going to aim him right there, right where that stream. That way, if he drifts left to right, he'll still be on a beach hex. He does not drift. He does land. Okay, does he land okay? Finally! Alright, so that's 1, 2, because it's a stream hex. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to park in that town hex there. That's not good. Alright, helicopter is going to take a shot with autocannons on the drone. I'm within 6, so I do not have. So it's 24 versus 8, 3-1. Helicopters are about the only units that can move and attack in a single turn. Or can move and then attack. Lots of units can attack and then move half with split move and fire. By the way, the reason my drone is not spotting anybody, it's part of the attack phase. That's basically his weapons firing, his target acquisition laser, and clearly he spent his attack phase rallying. Basically, the squad signals officer, the squad systems officer, was trying to regain control of that drone. So I can now move him normally, but he can't spot anybody this turn. Otherwise, it would make your dispersal kind of pointless. Speaking of which, let's back him the frig up. Out of range of tanks, out of range of tanks. Gunships can't see me without moving. He can't see me at all, he's blocked by his own trees. Alright, cool. I can't do anything with him yet, but I want to put him where I hopefully can use him. Cool. Alright, other movement. This guy already moved. Oh yeah, for sure. 1, 2, because he has to climb a hill. Or one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. engineers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, basically. Humvees off-road. Scout, I have our scout LAVs. Ugh, do I go back up and go around the swamps, or do I plow through the woods? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's a whole bunch of jarheads coming, sir. Infantry always move 2, no matter what the terrain is. Still unloaded. These guys just moved here. These guys haven't moved at all yet. Coming up the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's unloading. Weapons platoon. We are Marine Corps Infantry. Bring to front. Check out these badass counters. Simple design, but I like it. If I can find them. Marine rifle with a little anchor on there. It's badass. Alright, so, yep, everyone is dismounted on the AAVs. No, the AAVs, again, for anyone who hasn't noticed yet, have an H-class weapon. That's the 50 cal and a M240 on the roof. Sometimes the M240 isn't really supposed to be there. A lot of Marines unofficially put an M240 on there. But what the H is for, in that little turret up front, is a Mark 19 automatic grenade launcher. Hence the high explosive value. So, done. Hopefully these turns will start going a little bit faster, guys. I neglected to drop any mortars with him, but that's okay. I'll not forget next turn. Not that he can see very much. I should have plotted that, but that part of the turn's already passed. I will not get super cheesy. Look at this little Mexican standoff we have going here in the north. Those tanks scare me. I'm not gonna lie, those tanks scare me. It's all fun playing with Abrams until you're the guy that doesn't have Abrams. And you're like, oh my god, do I have T-55s? Do I have No, you have no tanks at all. Oh no. Alright, at least all my guys are finally ashore. Let me make sure my emus haven't rallied behind you. Oh no! We've ahead of the battle, we sent an ornithologist behind your lines. We contacted certain leaders in the emu tribes, and there's now a plan. We've come ashore. Our emu allies rise in their thousands to overthrow the yoke of Australian tyranny. Long live the Emu Republic, Emu Socialist Republic, or whatever the hell. All right.
Just quick, in Hearts of Iron 4, if you take the Australian, I think if you take.
You said Hearts of Iron. I'm already laughing. Go ahead.
When Australia, I think if you become a fascist republic, it actually is called the Emu Republic.
Oh my god! They actually call it.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're gonna go fascist, you might as well just embrace the stupidity. And now I am checking to make sure your stingers, okay, making sure. Stinger analogs don't actually see anything. Cool. Alright, I'm done with my movement. Over to your plot new artillery, then we resolve your old artillery.
Okay, so my smoke round came in on 1703.
Okay, did you plot your new artillery already?
Oh, sorry,
If
plot
any?
new artillery, that's right.
Yeah, the game does make you plot new artillery first.
Yep.
Alright guys, so I shot down his drone. So I've taken away some of his eyes. Again, any infantry unit or dismounted headquarters unit automatically has anything within 4 hexes spotted. like in the Marine Corps, there's literally a guy called the squad systems officer. That's all, or squad systems operator. That's all he does. He's basically a drone pilot and radio man and everything else. He's basically the propeller head who handles all the tech. To Tuffy Ear's comment, he's the Marine infantryman who can count to 4 instead of 3. Although, make fun of the Marines all you want. When they win this game, you are going to be crying. I'm not going to say the Marines have never lost a battle, but they've lost a lot less than the Royal Marines have. And you have to go way back to find a battle where a Marine unit has technically lost. And I stress technically. If you want to get serious, the Marines have never lost a battle, period. However, in all objective fairness, technically, there's been 1 or 2. And it may not be where you think it is. But it's not easy. I mean, okay, they technically lost at Wake Island too. I mean, yeah. I don't know if I would call that a loss. The last response out of that garrison at Wake Island was, yeah, you can send us something. You can send us more Japanese. Merry Christmas. Send us more Japs. The last recorded message from that garrison. So technically, that is a loss, if you want to call it that. But there have been there has been one time when the Marine Corps literally just broke and routed off the field. But I challenge the Wikipedia commandos to find that one. When you find it, you'd be like, I don't know if that really counts, but they did wear the Eagle Globe and Anchor, so. You should do a 2022 plus. Also, I found out that the specifically Marine variant of the F-35 achieved initial operational capability March 1st, 2022. This is less than 7 months ago with the U.S. Marine Corps. This is the new AGM-179, basically what's replacing the Maverick. Oh dear God. The Marines have Mavericks now. Somebody fucked up. They gave the Marines Mavericks. That's kind of the only hope I have against those friggin' Abrams. But we'll see. I do have one section of javelins. So javelins, we all know how well the javelins are doing in Ukraine. These are not Russian T-64s, T-62s, T-72s, or even T-90s. These are M1A1 Abrams with the depleted uranium heavy armor variant. So, I do know about the Javelin's top-down attack profile. There is a rule that takes that into effect. Still, it's an Abrams, and I only have so many Javelins. Okay, so, sorry about that. Have you plotted your new artillery?
Yes, I have, yep.
I'm not having any problems with internet, tough ears. Hopefully no one else is having problems with internet. It's not me. I don't know if other people, or at least I'm not aware if it's me. Have there been any cutouts on your end, Dylan?
Tiny hiccups every now and then, but nothing crazy.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Australian internet. No, it's almost certainly my internet. Australian internet's not great.
Yeah, we are on a Skype call on the literally the other side of the planet. Dylan is 14 hours ahead of me. So, yeah, it's truly transglobal. So, yeah, and of course we're streaming all over the world. We got people in the UK watching us, people all over Florida, people over the US, people in the Carolinas. Yeah. We're all over the place. So we do apologize if there's any instability with the internet. Okay, so you've called in your new artillery. Your previous artillery now finally lands. Sorry for the delay, everybody. That was a SSC, smoke shell concentration. Again, guys, we are assuming all the smoke is hot, white phosphorus or some other chemical that makes it opaque in infrared spectrum. Because just about everybody on this map has thermal vision, so a regular smoke screen is kind of pointless. All right, so where was your smoke screen? Where did it land, sir?
1703.
Okay, there are 1703. Oh, way up here. Oh no. There were plenty of people that could see that, so there's no roll required. Boom, there's now a smoke screen in 1703. Hot smoke. Here's a quick question. Did my helicopters just see that?
Ooh.
Oh, no, barely. Again, I can see through swamps. I can't see through trees or hills. Guys, helicopters are always assumed to be nap of the earth, so they pay attention to terrain like everybody else. You can, if you want to, just say, oh, I'm flying high altitude. I don't know if I recommend that. Both him and I have stingers or stinger analogs that would make a nice little mess of a... Damn it. Couldn't see because of my own hexes. Ooh, the drone didn't see that. Okay, cool. Keep going. Sorry. I didn't mean to give you a heart attack there.
I kind of need that smoke.
Yep.
And the other one was another blind drop with the artillery itself.
Oh, okay. And where was that at?
That was on 2114, which for the life of me, I have no idea where that is.
2114. 2144. 2114 was the town hex right here.
Yep. Oh, okay, that one there. Okay. Ooh.
Alrighty. Cool. Roll a d6.
Yes.
Good, you didn't have this unit spotted. Actually...
A4.
Okay, it scatters one hex. Who did see that hex?
It would have been the vehicles on that road with that beeline down there.
Yeah, but there's woods in those hexes, so nobody could see.
Oh,
that.
is there? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
those are woods hexes. A road goes through it, but there's no line of sight down that road.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, in that case,
the helicopters. Somebody saw something. Where's your drone at? Because you have to be able to at least see the hex. Oh, that's right. Your drone got taken out.
Okay, I didn't see that wood hits there.
Okay. That's technically not legal. Technically, nobody could see that. But right now, nobody can even see that hex. Even where the drone was, because you can have a there's terrain right behind it, or right in front of me, so that would have also blocked him. Because that's what happens when I have a unit spotted. Like let's say that drone was still there, and the drone does have line of sight. Okay, let's say the drone was here, just for rules, in case that comes up again. Let's say the drone was here. Okay. Yes, I see over the swamp and I see that hex. I don't have him spotted, but I do have the hex spotted. Or maybe I do have it spotted. Maybe he made his laser check. But then the drone gets knocked down before your mission comes in. Then you roll for a scatter. But even where... Remember, helicopters can move and attack in the same turn.
Yes. I think I'll be doing that with these helicopters.
Or that'll be in the movement phase, but just something to bear in mind.
Yep.
Right.
I don't think I have any direct fire. Let's see.
Keep going, Dylan. Don't let me interrupt you. Jen says I haven't had any problems, and Tuffy here says it might be mine. They're totally rebuilding the phone infrastructure around here. Cool, no worries. Hopefully, well, I'm sorry to hear you're having internet problems, Tuffy here, but hopefully it's not the whole chat. And guys, I know that we're kind of tiptoeing around each other here, and I'm not trying to rush Dylan. When we do finally lock up, the reason we're being so careful is everything can shoot like ridiculous ranges. Everything hits, everything doubles, everything dies. This is, super modern weapons. When we actually do get to grips, we have to make sure it's at the absolute best possible conditions. Because there's really only going to be one or two real fire phases in this game. There's so few units, and this is a pretty small Panzer Leader game actually, but it's high tech and there's a lot of special rules. Where we're seeing how, I fired a smoke screen. Did I see that from 4 kilometers away? Oh crap. Again, 2023 sensors and target acquisition systems. Alright, so if you have no direct fire, we go to your movement phase, Mr. Dillon.
Yep. So the first thing I'll do is we'll start down near X-ray.
Okay.
I will move the empty APC that's in that sort of Overwatch hex there with the javelins.
Oh, with the javelins, got it. Cool. It's just a Bushmaster, but actually you got two Bushmasters in there.
Yeah, move the empty one
Bushmaster
back.
is okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he moves back,
Yeah, so I move,
and then he unloads.
and then dismount the other.
Javelins. Not nice. Who saw that? Who saw that?
I think the helicopters.
Bingo, saw that.
Yep.
Alrighty. But you're still... Okay, the javelin, the helicopters... The helicopters are nap of the earth, so my helicopters are blocked by those trees immediately to their south. The drone saw that, but the drone he doesn't have any weapons. Not within 10 hexes to paint. So, okay. Yeah, you got guys in the chat. You got to be careful in this game because every move you make with the sensors and target acquisition technology on the table, there's more drones than there are people on this table. And every one of these infantry platoons has got drones. Well, not that one, but like an actual rifle platoon has got drones flying around. You got to be careful. Notice I stopped here just outside of 4 hexes. There was a reason for that.
I'm moving that empty Bushmaster into the hex with the 2 boxes. The one that went back, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just for an extra machine gun, or whatever's going on.
Yeah, a little, I don't know what you guys call it. It's an M240/FN Mag. Canadians call it the C7, I think, or the C6. British call it the L7A2. That's the NATO 30 caliber machine gun that literally everyone uses. All right. Any other movement down here in the south?
No, the south is pretty good.
Ben Johnson, 150 meter hexes. So how you can tell, really quick, is if my movement rate on my infantry is 2 hexes. If I do switch to a 150 meter, a 250 meter, like a standard or a traditional Panzer Leader game, I will change those movement rates to 1. Oh, sorry. So yeah, Nathan is asking. Sorry, everybody. What's the scale of the hexes? 150 meters. So basically 500 feet. 450 meters equals 500 feet. Sorry, equals 500 yards. So a 5-foot Flames of War table. And there are just over 1,000 hexes on the map. It's 45 by 25. So it's 3 Panzer Leader tables, or 3 Panzer Leader maps, although with a small number of units. Tough Ears, 50 feet is roughly what it is for Valor and Victory, which is a different game. But it's the other game that we play a lot on this chat. So Valor and Victory is our big infantry game. If we want to play with a lot of tanks and aircraft, we go to a bigger scale, 150 meter hexes, or 250 meter hexes. In this game, it's 150. Okay, I apologize, Dylan. Was there any other movement in the south? I think I interrupted you.
No, all good.
Okay.
No, the south is good.
He's got him on defense, everyone. Anything going on up north?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
the
watch out for those helicopters.
yes.
Now, just in case anyone wants to wonder why, like the factors here, the Tiger has a single barrel 30mm cannon, to my knowledge. The Viper has a multi-barreled 20mm cannon. So we have the same amount of firepower, a bigger gun barrel, but smaller number of barrels. However, since I have a smaller gun caliber, the range is different. That's the reasoning behind those values there. Although again, really, it's about the missiles.
Yep. All right, let's start with the boxer. Just to...
Okay, this guy here in the north.
Yep.
Yep.
He's going to go essentially straight down the road.
Stay exactly behind that smoke screen.
Yes.
He's already on
He'll
the road.
still be seen by someone, but...
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4...
I'll stop at 3, I think.
Okay.
Just to stay out of those drone ranges. The Abrams are also going to move out.
I assume your 2 actual line platoons first?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 1, 2. They're going to move 1005, 004, 003.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Their next hex triggers opportunity fire.
Yes. Which is why they won't be moving any further.
Gotcha. Are they both going to be in that hex?
Yep, they'll both be in that hex.
Cool. Alright, is the commander and XO going with him, or is he got your back way back?
He'll go into 1103.
Oh, he is out in front.
Yes, that should be alright, but there's no opportunity fire. Actually,
there wasn't enough time. Also, again, because we're down, our bellies are in the dirt. Didn't really see because these trees. Cool.
Yep. I think that's good. And the 2 infantry units will sort of crawl into the woods hexes in front of them with their APCs.
Okay.
Why not?
So how you tell guys if they're in the APC or not? If the infantry unit's on top, he's dismounted. If the transport unit is on top, he's considered loaded. So combat engineers and what's that, rifle platoon? Standard infantry rifle platoon. With their little stare augs. What's up with that? Aren't you guys getting a real rifle? You guys get tired of those stupid science fiction rifles?
Fours.
All right.
I had heard somewhere they were being replaced with M4s, but
that's what I heard.
I'm not sure.
Some of our M4s are being replaced, like Special Forces and MARSOC. They're going up to like something called the M27 or something, which I have no idea what the hell that is.
It looks really sci-fi, but it looks like a standard, military assault rifle.
556 rifle. All right, that smoke screen lasts 2 turns.
Yep.
All right.
And
you know what this reminds me of? That you're going to get this reference. Maybe nobody else in the chat will. I'm reminded of a cannonade on the peninsula one, which is one skinny little tree for the boys to hide behind. And they all fell in behind. Yeah, they all fell in behind that one tree. It was a hell of a thing to see.
it swayed one way, they lean one way, it swayed another way.
The ball would come one way, the swing right there. The shot would come one way, it'd swing the other way. All right, so does that complete movement?
Helicopters.
Okay, cool. These 2 flights here. Yep.
Let's move them to 1102.
Got it.
To 1301 in the trees there.
Or, yeah, just over the trees.
Yeah. And then we'll end up in 1701. It's a little risky.
17.
Just above the smoke there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so they didn't want to take a poke at my choppers. Cool. All right.
No.
Oof. All right. Things are going to get serious now.
Yep. So that should be all my movement.
All right, cool. Awesome. Before we start the next turn, because you have nothing to rally. All right, cool. Answer the question in the chat here. Yeah, it's 45 by 25, 11 by 1125 hexes divided by the 330 that are on a normal Panzer Leader map. It's, whoa, hello, 25 times 45 divided by 330, dummy. Yeah, 3.5 maps. Although I made the map kind of big because like a quarter of it is water. So, technically it's maybe a shade less than 3 Panzer Leader maps, traditional Panzer Leader maps. To be honest though, I format them not by the usual 33 or 32 like Ben says, 33 or 32 by 10 like slices. I format them by what will fit on a 11 by 9 monitor. Or I'm sorry, a 16 by 9 monitor. With a little bit of margin over here for the boneyard. Alright, cool. So, we then bounce over to turn 4. No! That is not what I meant to do. Game is technically half over. Whew. Okay. It is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Oh crap, my drone can't see anything. Look at this. Oh, come on. Really? Blocked by the trees. Blocked by those trees. Oh, damn it. I wasn't careful with placing my drone. Ugh. That's okay, my helicopters can see plenty. Oh, yes, they can see plenty. Actually, not really that much. Okay, let me go ahead and get a little artillery card started here. Now, I do have some absurdly powerful artillery in the form of those HIMARS systems. I only have one, and it can only fire every other turn, because they have to reload those tubes. So, I gotta be careful with how I use it. So this is going to be called in on turn 4 and going to hit. Actually, HIMARS does not have to, that's written in the special rules. HIMARS do not need to fire a turn in advance. They can only fire every other turn. Because it's not artillery, it's a hypersonic missile. Problem is, or the question is, do I want to waste it on an empty boxer? Survey says no. Alright, so I'm going to call in some other artillery then. Turn 4, landing on turn 5. Ooh. Let me not make the same. I gotta be able to see the hex I'm dropping it on. God damn, who drew this map? Can't see shit. Hold on. Gotta do it. Gots to do it. Because if I don't stop these Abrams, and once they get rolling, I've got no tanks. And my javelins probably can't stop them. My stupid toes definitely can't stop them. Alright, so I got line of sight on the Abrams. So I can call in HIMARS. I'm calling in a HIMARS strike instantaneously on that hex. So we'll resolve that in just a second. I'm trying to figure out what, if anything, I want to do with my stupid smoke screen. The problem is I can't really see very much. Because I have to be able to see the hex that I want to drop the smoke screen on. All these guys are still blinded by the ridge, blinded by the ridge, blinded by the trees. Alright, it's an important turn, guys. It's going to take a couple of minutes here. Alright. I almost just accidentally cheated. I'm glad I caught myself. Alright, next turn's artillery is called in. Verifying the range. Okay, we're good. Alright, cool. Now the HIMARS comes in. Alright, so I only get to shoot this every other turn. This is the HIMARS that we've all heard about. Clearly, you know, with the news coming out of the Ukraine. The Marine Corps does have the M142 HIMARS. The Marine Corps has successfully experimented with firing them off the deck of their LPHs. So LPH number 6, that's USS America, does have one of these, or has a battery of these actually, on her flight deck. They are launching and they are hitting. Question is, are they going to do anything? Probably not. Spoiler alert, I'm just kind of hoping to pin somebody down, to be honest. Okay, because HIMARS, I looked up all the actual weapons loads that they can carry. It's all top down, which is why it has the H+ attack factor. So I get to ignore his his special armor. Special armor are the two asterisks next to his defense value. Okay, so now that the tanks are going to get in play, let's go through it real fast. Okay, you add up the attack, you divide by the defense, you get a ratio, you roll a d6 based on a certain column, okay? That's all great. And then some stuff doubles, some stuff halves, depends on the range, depends on the weapons class. There's a whole bunch of rules that we won't go through. We'll go through them as they come into effect. Dylan pretty much knows the rules, so I hope there won't be too many surprises for him. Here, the Abrams have advanced Chabo armor. This is also the HA variant, heavy armor with a layer of uranium mesh sandwiched between the layers of Chabo. So these tanks are friggin' tough. If I'm going to hit this thing with anything with a G or an H class, anything with a shaped charge, I have to add 2 to my die roll. So laminate armor, reactive armor, like the German, the non-Chobham stuff that the Leopards carry, which, yes, Leopards do not carry Chobham, so on and so forth, they get to add 1. True Chobham, Challengers, Abrams, stuff like that, the K2s that the South Koreans use, they get true Chobham. That is, I have to add 2 to my attack. So even though I've got some 50-point tow missiles and all kinds of crazy stuff, I have to attack at 1 to 2. 50 divided by 36 is 1 to 2. You always run in favor of the defender. Then I have to add 2 to my die roll. I.e., these things are missile proof. Absolutely missile proof. The only thing that can really take out an M1 Abrams, and we see it in Iraq, we've seen it in the Gulf War, is going to be a close assault from infantry. Basically drop a turtle into an ant pile kind of thing. That's if you're dumb enough to send them down a Baghdad street somewhere. Or certain kinds of airstrikes. Or a similar gun. Because guns do not suffer this -2 penalty. However, I have none of those guns. So, here come my HIMARS. My HIMARS, as we saw, has 50 H+. H, in parentheses, means indirect fire. It's from over the horizon. The range is absurd. 200 kilometers times 7 hexes to a kilometer. The range is like 1,400. So yeah, I'm in range. In fact, the only thing you have to worry about is the minimum range. You cannot fire these things at anything closer than 60 hexes. So if this thing actually appears on the table, you're safe from it, because you're already within its minimum range. Oh, I just screwed up. All right, cool. So I'm going to drop in my 50 points. It affects everything in the hex. The H plus means that it gets to ignore that 2 thing penalty. However, it's still an H-class weapon, which means it halves versus armored targets. So I get 25s versus 2 36s. Basically, I get 2 attacks at 1 to 2 odds. This is important. So what these things do against armored targets, they come in, they explode, and they send this hypervelocity hail of semi-molten slugs out of like a shape-charged warhead down, hopefully through the roof of the tank. We are going to see if this works. Oh my god, this is scary. 1 attack affects both units in the hex. 1 to 2 odds. Looking for a 1, 2, or a 3 at least once. Okay, 1's pinned down, 1 is not. HIMARS. Boom! Cool. And then I'll catch up in the chat in just a second, guys. This is an important part of the game here. Okay, so my new artillery is called in. My old artillery, well, it's instantaneous, is resolved. We're all done with that. Now I go to the next part of the game. Where's my stupid turn sequence? Airstrikes. Oh, hell yeah. It's now or never. Airstrikes cannot fly nap of the earth. Dylan, warm up those Stinger analogs. Now's the time. 2 Mavericks. They're oh, well, hold on. I actually have it written down. They have the same numbers as Mavericks. They're just 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. Okay, that's their range. So they're going to fire them from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Nope, they won't. They have to get closer. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm within range of the tanks and hopefully out of range of the SAMs. 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, cool. I only get to do this once, guys. However, this is going to hurt. This is my only real chance to stop some of those Abrams. Ordnance. The F-35s each carry 2 AGM-179 strikes. So each one could be up to 120 points. Do I want to use them all? All right, I'm going to put 2 of them on the one that's... so one Raptor is going to fire both of his missiles, his whole load, at the one that's disabled. So it's going to be 120 points versus 36. That is 1-to-1 odds. It is a G+, so it fires from above. It goes past the Chobham armor. However, it's still only 3-to-1. 120 divided by 36, if you round down, that comes out to 3-to-1, right? Yeah, it's not 4-to-1. So it's 3-to-1, subtract 1 from the die roll for being dispersed. A 3 becomes a 2 on a dispersed unit on the 3-to-1 table. That is 1 platoon of Abrams smoked. Thank freaking Christ. The other one's going to have a much tougher time of it because he's not disabled, or he's not disordered. Okay, and again, this is the Sunday punch. This means that your artillery is safe. Everything, yeah. Here comes the other anti-tank missiles. 3-to-1, no subtractions. Oh, shit, the camera wasn't on. That is a 4. On 3-to-1, he is only disordered. Damn it. That might be the game right there. That might be the game. 3-1. 4 on 3-1 is only, yeah, dispersed. Unless I send in my choppers, which I'll probably do, but then those choppers are going to take ground fire. And those choppers will take missile fire. Okay, well, that's it for my airstrike. Now I go to direct fire. I don't think I have very much. Ooh, actually, yes I do. This LAV tow missile fires at this disrupted tank. 50 versus 36, 1-1. That is not a G star. That G plus just means he doesn't have to worry about reloads. All that unit carries is like limitless tows. The problem is it's still a shape charge, so I have to add 2 to my die roll, 1-1. Subtract 1 from the die roll because he's disordered. So it's 1-1, net, add 1 to the die roll. That becomes a 4 on 1-1. I think I just got him. 4 on 1-1. Nope. Double dispersal, or normal dispersal. Did not get him. Oh my god. Okay, other direct fire. Blinded by smoke, smoke on the trees. My drone is gonna have to move, because believe it or not, he can't see anything. Nobody else down here can see anything. Okay, we then go to movement phase. Okay, any ground fire? The command element can put some ground fire up. I think that's it.
Yeah, no, I'll save the commander for other stuff. I won't do any.
Alright, so they each get 2 50-point missile strikes. These are Hellfires, though. Hellfires. Do not get that top-down attack. No G star. That goddamn Chobham armor, man. I'm using up all his tanks, guys, but he's using up all my missiles, all my ordnance. My kick-ass. All right, so this is going to be 2. I'm going to throw the whole load at him. The hell with it. I got chain guns for everything else. So it's going to be 60 times 4 is 240 divided by, you know, that sounds crazy. 240 divided by 36. That's 6-1. However, I have to add, again, 2 to the die roll. Make that 1 to the die roll because he's dispersed. So 6-1, add 1 to the die roll. I think I got him. Ooh, a 5 becomes a 6. At 6-1. Is a kill. Alright, took out both of his main platoons. His command element is still there. But that took every anti-tank missile I had area-wise. Aerial-wise. I have some tows left. And some jabs. My really mobile air stuff, that was everything I had. That's it for air phase. Rest of my movement phase. And I did want to save some of that for counter battery fire, take out his M777s. Because I do have rules for that, but I just used up a lot of it. And dismount. Dismount, please. One, 2, 3, because he's going up a hill. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, dismount. Don't know what I'm doing with them yet. This is the one I'm really thinking about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1 for going up a hill is 5, plus 1 for going into it is 6. I still can't unload them because my movement rate's only 10. Clearly, guys, in case anyone hasn't caught on, I'm trying to set up a little anti-aircraft base up here on top of this hill so I can see him like wherever he's at. But it's not working. It's taking me like 4 turns to do it. We're pretty much seeing each other at this point. Those 2 units. And once that's spotted, it downloads into the local cloud pretty much of your battalion. Everyone now has that unit spotted. And vice versa. 1, 2, 3, 4 road movement rate. There's literally a column of Marines just hauling ass down that road. Bring up some fire support. Tanks at my drones, but just in case. Let me not be that stupid. Drones can have almost unlimited movement. I'm sitting here playing them like they're line infantry. There, now he's got line of sight on him and on him. I have to wait for the attack phase for that. So next turn. Everything in there is pretty much good. Oh, sorry. These tow missiles. Yeah, you guys saw that. For sure.
Yep.
I think that's it for my movement. Done him, done them. Can't believe they still can't unload. Okay, that is it for my movement. Over to your turn. There's still some Abrams on the table. Damn it. I'm happy, but only like 75%. I mean, okay, I won't open up the file now, but if you guys go back like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, we did Challenger 1s versus an entire brigade of 90th Brigade, 52nd Iraqi armored, well, not really armored, but 52nd Division. Iraqi army tabled the entire brigade. Not one Challenger platoon was knocked out of action. I pinned them down a couple times, but I could never actually kill one. Once these big, like 4th generation NATO battle tanks really get moving, they ain't shit stopping them, I'm telling you. That took every special Sunday punch, every Wunderwaffe I had. My HIMARS cannot fire now until turn 6, so his artillery's going to rain all over me. My JS-35s were totally my ace in the hole. They literally just shot their wad. My helicopters are completely out of missiles now. They still have chain guns. And there's still some tanks left. But I still got like little stuff. Tows, javelins. I'm not that worried about it, but I'm not out of the woods yet. Okay, tell you what, before we get started, let me catch up on the chat here. So cool. Ben, I'm a real in a real exercise like this, how do they determine kills like with lasers and stuff? Yeah, there's laser designator systems. In fact, if we go to super fast, if you see this on here, that right there, well, it's also a wind reference system, but sometimes you'll also see, like if you look inside the barrel, you'll see something is actually inside the barrel there. For exercise, they'll actually have like a laser. Now notice this little thing on the turret face. That's not supposed to be there. That's probably a laser receiver. So that's what tells the tank you've been painted, you've been hit. And then the umpire of the actual exercise says this tank has been knocked out or whatever. Is kind of how that works. Yeah, it's pretty much a bunch of lasers. And then sometimes, especially back in the 80s, you'll see this little rack of grenades. smoke grenades like right here on top of the Abrams. It's like an 8-pack, 2 rows of 4, and that'll fire off a smoke bomb to signify firing. That way enemy can spot you when you fire, even though you didn't really fire a live round. You just shot a laser. They try to make it as realistic as possible. I was grading some papers. Did I miss the emus? Yeah, I played the joke up emus. Dylan didn't laugh that much because I think the emu joke is getting old. That's all fine. Jennifer Lemon also says Jim has a system to modernize the numbers on the counters to apply to modern equipment. Also, I'm not the first person to try this. Jennifer Berdue, if I'm saying your name correctly. Northeast Atlantic Gaming Group has been doing this since the early 2000s. Toshash Miniatures, I think in 2010, produced a version of Panzer Blitz for 1991 Gulf War and 2003 Iraqi Freedom, which I kind of use as a baseline. Long story short, also a guy named Gabe Cheng on the Panzer Blitz Panzer Leader Average Relay Wars Facebook group comes up with a lot of great counters. I'm totally going to steal some of his ideas, by the way. He comes up with amazing looking counters. Yeah, a lot of people do this. So yes, I do it, but I'm not the only one, and I do borrow ideas from other people, and other people borrow ideas from me. So it's kind of a community thing. But officially, there is TCME, Tactical Command Middle East. Actually, I think it's Tactical Combat Middle East, by a company called Toshash Miniatures. It's like $10 to download the PDF if you're interested. So there is an official product for modern day Panzer Leader. Basically a mind-numbingly intense Excel spreadsheet. It's a pretty simple Excel spreadsheet. I won't open it up right now because the stream's already getting too long. We're barely halfway through the game. Also, I'm sure Dylan wants some payback. All right, Mr. Dylan, speaking of which, let's plot your new artillery.
Yes, I have my new artillery plotted.
Sweet, let's resolve your old artillery. First thing that happens, the smoke screen begins to dissipate. Okay, what else is happening?
There's another smoke screen coming down.
Okay.
In 1702, so basically just above it.
Got it. A heartbeat too late to block those.
I really should have waited an extra turn. So that's the smoke artillery,
okay.
And the actual artillery comes on 1922.
1922.
Which I think is like 1 hex away from you. So
as soon as I can find the stupid hex. 19. Ooh. Oh, yeah, literally 1 hex. 1 hex away.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. The good news is, I'm in cover. All right, cool. But the drone can come down. Oh no, you lost your drone. Sorry. All right. We go to your direct fire then.
Yes, let's start with the helicopters.
No.
We're just going to delete that tow system there.
Okay, you do have some HOTS, which are not as good as tows, but it won't really matter. All right, so basically you don't want to overkill. They each carry 2 HOTS. So a HOT is, I think, 45 points. What did I say? Hot is, first of all, that's a typo. There should be 2. Hot missile strike 45, you're definitely within the strike range. In fact, if anything, you're close to being within your minimum range. G-class weapons almost always have a 2 hex minimum range, but you're good. So 45 points. Never doubles, never subtracts, never doubles, never halves. So 1 missile strike, you've got a total of 4 here in that stack. 1 is worth 45 points, attacks at 9-1, which is beyond the top of the table.
I think I'll just use the 1.
Yeah, cool. So roll a
the other.
Okay, roll a d6. Actually, It doesn't even matter. Because even if you roll a 6, add 1 for my woods, a 7 still kills on a 7-1.
Cool.
So I didn't even require a dice check. Cool. He is smoked and out of there. Put him back here in the ocean. Cool. And then the other one can fire at somebody else or fire chain guns or...
Let's fire chain guns into the infantry.
Cool. 12 points. Okay, guys, so here's another special rule of mine. Normally, if you're familiar with Panzer Leader, an A has to divide against soft targets like infantry. A star is basically autocannon, dual class ammunition, Hesh rounds, stuff like that. Long story short, it does not have to have against soft targets. So he still gets 12 versus my 10, 1 to 1. You do have to add 1 to the die roll though.
Yes.
Because Marines are tough as shit, especially when they're hiding in woods.
A 3 goes
3
to a 4.
becomes a 4, is dispersed on the 1 to 1.
Nice.
Pin them down.
Nice.
Send them back. Cool. Alright. Marines didn't get away with that completely. Yeah, that LAV is smoked, man. LAV AT, it's not even close, man. 9 to 1. He basically just like touched the trigger. He was like, "You're out of here, dude. Suck on that, Buttercup." Boom! That LAV flips over like 4 times before it hits the woods again. And he's technically still spotted. Okay. Technically, the unit that fired. Oh no, you're there. You got him spotted. Go for it. All right. Any other direct fire?
Helicopters. I don't think I can drop mortars on a drone. And I haven't got anyone spotted in the south. Oh no, I do. But
yeah,
not
do,
see.
no.
I can't actually see them. It's the trees.
Yeah, so you could call in artillery on them, or
Yep.
mortars or airstrikes. Well, I don't have any airstrikes, but yeah, mortars. It just would take till next turn. But pretty much
Yeah, no,
on
that's
everyone's
all right.
little digital battlefield, you do see these 2 platoons. One weapons platoon and 1 full-strength rifle platoon. So there's like 70, 80 guys coming down the road there.
I think that'll be the end of the direct fire phase.
You go to movement. So the helicopters can move and attack in the same turn. The problem is they have both attack this turn, so they can still move, but they can't attack twice.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Let's start with the Abrams. Oh, sorry. Let's start with the recon vehicle there. Sorry, the
Right.
Boxer. He's going to move into... Careful with this. Into the hex the helicopters are in, so he'll go northeast into that hex.
All right. Helicopters never add to stacking limit, and plus you're only 3. I only saw you for 1 hex, so be careful. This guy does have an A-class weapon. That's an anti-armor
Yes.
platoon, but he didn't see you for long enough. During my fire phase, I can see you or cat attack you
Yeah.
easily.
He'll move into 1802
Oh no, he's coming even closer. Okay.
and then 1901 up to the northeast.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now he is... Oof. Alright, if the helicopters are there and calling artillery on like his position or like immediately to the south, hint, hint, the Marines might swarm northwards and cat attack you. I literally have the platoon whose sole job is that combined anti-armor team. They go out with smalls and AT-4s and shit like that and hunt tanks. Light armored vehicles, which is like, oh my god, meat on the table. And a weapons platoon. And you're in the open. No, you can't be overrun. None of this stuff has A-class weapons. Crap, I have another mortar back here I forgot about. Okay, no worries. Sorry, complete your movement.
Oh, good. The Abrams will then move down the road
Okay.
into 1702.
Okay, I can see him in the smoke screen. I just have to add 1 to my die roll.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, there's a toe there, but I'm okay with that.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is one other tower there. He right now is blocked by this smoke screen.
Oh, of course.
But that smoke screen is getting thin. It disappears during your next artillery resolution phase, so word to the wise.
Alright, that's movement in the north.
Okay.
And I don't think I can do it. I'm not going to do anything in the south, so that should be... I'll move the SAM teams 1 hex to the north with their vehicle. And that's movement phase.
Cool. Nothing to rally. Game is now over halfway done. Technically, I'm still losing. I only have 2 objective hexes. Alrighty, so, new artillery. My HIMARS is doing nothing because it's reloading. Cool. So, my mortar. I forgot I had a second mortar. So the mortar I did remember. Is he doing anything? Running down a hex grid. Okay. It doesn't really matter super much, but my last mission comes in. You see here, called in on turn 4, impacts on turn 5. Smoke was the ordnance, lands in hex 903. I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, I went to blind these guys because reasons. I didn't know if they were going to charge out of there and do something cute. But no worries. Alright, cool. That's it for my artillery phase. My new artillery is called in. Question, can the other one... Yep, okay, so both mortars have a mission. Sweet, because I remember I have 2 mortars now. Great. Direct fire phase. Jennifer says, I'm reading Henry Hyde's new book on wargame campaigns right now. He has some interesting things to say about online games like this one. I need to see what I'm reading about in action. So, yeah, hopefully we're doing it right. We've been doing this for a couple years now, where we take a Hex Encounter board game and we convert it into a semi-virtual environment so that we can pretty much do something with it. Otherwise, Dylan's got to get on a plane and fly 45 hours to come here to Florida, or vice versa, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So this is how we play, literally with people around the world every week. All right, so direct fire. Oh my God, yeah, there's going to be some blocked. Not blocked. Holy crap, dude, I'm telling you, my northern flank might still cave in. God bless. Where are my friggin' helicopters? The helicopters are like, dude, we are bingo missiles, man. We can't help you. You're on your own for missiles. I can't really... Oh, before I do that, spotting phase. I got 2 targets in here. I gotta pick out 1 hex. I got 2 targets here. 1 through a 4. The APC. Yes. Infantry. Yes. These guys are both spotted. Thanks to Mr. Drone. So now that he's spotted, he's got a chain gun. He could maybe take a shot at the drone if he wants. Ooh, also, the SAMs can also shoot down drones. I just got to make sure I stay line of sight wise. All right, awesome. Direct fire. No, I got other plans for all that. To wrap up my fire phase up north, this guy's going to try to rally. 1 through a 5 rallies. Number 1, elite troop, not elite, but veteran troops And also, it's an exercise. This isn't an actual battle, despite the smoke and flames on the table. This is just an exercise, so no one is actually, experiencing pants-shitting terror right now. 2, he does rally. Basically, everyone is morale A in an exercise. Cool. Direct fire down here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, airstrikes. I think technically airstrikes were supposed to happen first. Okay, here comes my airstrikes. Now for chain gun, I have to get within a much shorter number. I have to get to where, oof. I have to be within 9 hexes, because it's a 25 millimeter gun. One, two, three, four, five, six. But the problem is that now I am in range of your stingers, or your stinger analogs. Technically, it's a RBS 70. And don't worry about line of sight, it's a jet. Jets don't fly that low, no matter what we see in Top Gun Maverick. So long story short, that missile gets to shoot.
Nice. It will shoot.
Roll a 1. Please roll a 1.
A 5.
A 5, no effect.
Ooh.
Missed. Yeah, 5 on a 1-to-1, because again, it's your 40 versus my 30. A 1 would have shot him down. 2, 3, or 4 would have dispersed him, which basically chases him off the table. A 5, he just missed. Okay, now he's going to fire off his guns. 12 points versus 8. It's only 1-to-1. He gets to ignore the smoke because he's over it and you're not immediately behind it. That's why I had to turn my exhaust literally right to your SAMs. I just got lucky on the die roll there. So 12 versus 8. Again, I know by the math that Jen mentioned in the spreadsheets before, that number should be higher. That gun, it's like a GAU 25 or something, only carries 180 rounds. So it's a super short burst. That's why it's not like a Warthog's gun, which is 30. Even though it's only 30 millimeter. 25 millimeter gun with a 6, it seems nerfed, that's why. Very, very low ammunition load. 12 points versus 8, 1-to-1 odds. A 4, he just pinned down. Which means he is set up for the incoming infantry attack. Combined arms. Alright, next. That's it for airstrikes. Other movement phase. We did see that SAM go off. He calls in the choppers. Any ground fire? I don't know if there is any. Oh yeah, there's some. 1, 2, 3, like literally 2 points. It's up to you if you want to fire any of these chain guns at him.
Why not? I'll fire all the chain guns.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's out of range with the 240. Those 2 chain guns are within range, so that's going to be 16 total points. There's got to be something else. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's within range. Because, okay, so 2 with a star after it for range means he gets to fire half of his attack factor out to double the range, so he's basically at this range worth 1. That gets you to 17. Alright, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just put spotted by everything that's firing. Spotted, spotted, spotted. You're at 1-to-1 against one of those Hueys. One of those Cobras.
Cool, I'll take that. Alright, come on. Here we go. A 2.
Okay, he is dispersed.
Nice.
So he will not shoot now. That is then just going to be 12 points, not divided, against 6, 2 to 1. I have to add 1 to the die roll for your woods. 4 on 2 to 1 is dispersed.
Cool.
That would have been 4 to 1. That would have killed him. So that chain gun fire did save the Sams. Okay, then we go to the rest of movement. So using the road movement rate, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all these clowns are spotted now. It's just one big spotted mess. The drones are like, oh my god, sir, there's a whole bunch of pissed off jarheads coming down the road at us. Technically, these guys did expose themselves to opportunity fire because they were here and they moved here. That was both in your line of sight, at least for some of these guys. So anyone that did not fire at the... Ooh. Heavy... Ooh, crap. The heavy weapons guy saw that.
Yep.
12, range of 6. Oh, crap. I just screwed up. I already took my finger off the piece. 1, 2, 3. You're within half range. That 12 doubles. Automatic grenade launcher time. Thump, 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 thump. 24 points. You can't fire javelins against them, nor I think you would want to.
That might be a tad tricky.
He fired. Okay, I think that's it. Still, that heavy weapon.
A 1 goes to a 2.
A 1 goes to a 2. He's destroyed.
Whew, yes. That was real scary, that unit. I was very afraid of that.
Oh, he's got lots of buddies. So, spoiler alert, next turn, cat attack, cat attack, cat attack, cat attack, cat attack. Yeah. But for now, it did cost me something. It's going to cost me more, to be honest. But I got to crack one of these objective hexes. I only own 2. I have to own 3 at least. And I'm running out of time. Okay, so then we go to any other movement for me? Oh yeah, lots of movement. Get out of the stupid track. You've been there for 5 turns. Is this the same guy who couldn't get out of the boat before? No, it was a different unit, but still.
Inspired by.
Yeah, that's my javelins, and which I totally realized I put on the wrong side of the battlefield now. They're like, where are the Abrams, man? Dude, you're like literally 8 miles away from the Abrams. Don't worry about it. Damn, I totally I deployed those. Okay, cool. So, yeah, guys, anything within 4 hexes of his closest infantry unit is spotted. Also, the helicopters were clearly spotted because they just shot at somebody. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this whole mess of guys is considered spotted. Even though they're in trees, even if there's trees between me and him, everyone's got that little handheld drone that they're launching. Likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they all fired anyway, but even if they hadn't, I've got them spotted. So there's going to be a lot more shooting now, because more of our guys can actually see each other. I already fired at him. I can't fire at him again. These guys already fired. Alright, so this guy with his 40 movement rate is just going to haul ass up here. I can't fire from there because you're blocked by smoke. I don't want to fire from there because I have to fly over the trees. I'm visible to too many people. I have to get there, which is bad news for me because now I'm in range of the tank. So the tank can shoot 4 points at me if he wants. Or he can shoot at 1 to 4 at me if he wants. Basically, it's the 50 cal. But I don't know if he wants to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay. Meanwhile, I've got 12 points versus 24. 1 to 2 odds. He is dispersed. Oh, +1 for smokescreen. He's safe. He's in a smokescreen. That smokescreen gave him some cover. That 3 became a 4 on the 1 to 2 odds, no effect. That smokescreen just saved you. Alright, that will wrap up Marine turn 5. Your turn 5. Ooh, no, sorry. Wanted to launch this cat attack. Okay, here comes the opportunity fire. This guy can't help because I rallied this turn. 1, 2. One, 2. Now, your guys did see that. Because I probably shouldn't have done that. Crap, I'm going to lose another objective hex, aren't I? One, 2. Let me play it a little safe. Boink. Be cheesy. Okay, this cat attack goes in. Believe it or not, those tigers haven't fired this turn yet, have they? Those tigers.
I think they did. Yeah, they fired it.
They fired during your.
Oh, it's my direct fire phase. Yep.
Your direct fire phase was during turn 4. They haven't fired on turn 5 yet.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, they do barely have line of sight on that cat platoon. And that's not cat as in Panzer Leader cat, Ben. That's literally the name of the Combined's anti-armor team. So apparently somebody in the, some general in the Marine Corps actually plays Panzer Leader. Because there's a real life unit named a cat. Alright, cool. So, if you're firing both of them, it's up to you. They're worth 12 points apiece. I'm worth 8. So if you fire both, you're going to get 3 to 1, but you have to add 1 to the die roll. If you don't at least pin him down, he's going to cat attack, and trust me, he's going to delete that pin down boxer.
Yeah. Let's fire both.
Okay, so that's going to be both of them with opportunity fire. 24 versus 8, 3 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. You kill on a 1 or a 2.
Okay. A 2 goes to a 3.
Smoked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, can you imagine if there were still 8 Abrams battle tanks cruising around right now?
Yeah, I'd be.
I had 1 shot to knock out those Abrams, and I was like, oh lord.
I'd be like, oh yeah, just take the boxer. I'll just overrun you next turn.
Yep, I'm smashed. We can't overrun them in woods, but it doesn't matter. You drive up right next to them and just blast them out of there.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So that cat attack never happens. He's safe. Now I'm done. We go to Australian turn 5. Springtime says, be careful. The USMC, US Navy F-35 NC have gunpowder with 220 rounds of ammunition. More ammo. Oh! So the C and B have more gun ammo with 220 more rounds than the USAF F-35A. Yeah, the 180 rounds is what I read. I did not know that the C and the B carry additional rounds. Oh, cool. I'll have to remember that. But for now, I already feel a little, I don't want to say cheesy, but suffice it to say I data mined the shit out of this. So I was like, how do I make a good stream where one side has Abrams and the other side doesn't have any tanks at all? And I did find these AGM 179s, which went online with the squadrons, the Marine Corps Bs, March 1st, 2022. So by the time we get to Talisman Sabre 2023, their squadrons are definitely going to have them. And that was the only real shot. I mean, there was a Hail Mary. My HIMARS maybe could have taken them out. My HIMARS cripples them. Maybe my toes get a lucky hit on a dispersed Abrams platoon. I've seen it happen way too many times. Damon one time in Twilight 2000, his Abrams platoons just literally drove like a carpet, like just bulldozed, steamrolled over everything I had. I lost my T-91s, I think they call them in that game. It's a different timeline. And yeah, Abrams are nothing to mess with. Okay, cool. So that concludes my turn. We now go to your turn. Plot your new artillery, please.
Okay.
I've still lost way more units than he has. Two Abrams? Is that all I've actually taken out so far? And a drone? Does that sound right to you, Dylan?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think I've lost any infantry or anything like that. It's been very, very hands-off so far.
That's about to change.
Yes.
Well, on two fronts. But thanks very much, Springtime. Thanks for that tip. I don't know how I missed that. So when you say 220 rounds, 220 rounds, which is more ammo, not 220 additional rounds. It carries 220, the A carries 180. Okay, that's not that big a deal. So normally in Panzer Leader, guys, after an aircraft uses up its ordnance, it gets to fire 4 times with its guns. I cut the F-35s down to 2. So maybe in future games, if it's if it's a B or a C, I'll knock it up to 3. But I don't want to do that in the middle of the game, because Dylan will log off. Those F-35s have done enough damage. They're friggin' missiles. So once Dylan is done with plotting, he's okay. Cool. So he's done with his artillery. We now resolve your current artillery.
Yes. So I had smoke coming in 1922. Not even sure where that is.
Okay, well, first of all, this smoke goes away. This smoke starts to dissipate. New smoke lands on 1922. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to blind my spotter ridge up there. Well, thank you for the smoke screen.
Yeah, that's not super great.
Panzer Leader does have a rule, though. You're never allowed to call in smoke on your own troops. They are still technically exploding shells, but you can totally drop a smoke screen and then have your infantry advance into it. Anyway, go ahead.
And then the artillery comes in on 1517.
Oh boy, this is not good.
Because I figured exactly what would happen happened.
Yep. And they are spotted, so you don't have to roll. Oh god, this is what I was afraid of, guys. He's going to realize how powerful his artillery is. Both batteries, I'm assuming?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So that adds together, and then for anyone who's not seen a Panzer Leader game before, these are corrected Arab-Israeli war rules. It looks like they got nerfed, but here's what happens. That attacks everything in the hex individually. So that's 48 points. Attacks him at 4-1, attacks him at 4-1, attacks him at 4-1. Now I do have woods. That gives me a +1, but basically he gets 3 4-1 attacks on that whole company of Marine rifles that are just apparently on, Sunday formation parade rest. They're just jammed up in ranks in that tree line, thinking they were safe. Turns out they weren't so safe. So, okay, you got 3 attacks at 4-1. You do have to add 1 to the die roll, because I have woods. So you need a 1, 2, or 3 to kill, and you roll 3 times.
Okay, first one, a 4.
Becomes a 5. He is pinned down.
Second one, a 3.
Becomes a 4. On 4-1, he is killed. Green rifle
And last one, a 2.
Becomes a 3. He's also. Oh man, dude, I'm getting the crap kicked out of me here. There goes my big mighty cat attack. Oh no! Come on, where are my little smoke bombs? Yeah, I was supposed to save at least some missiles for that. I have rules for it. Off-board, basically counter battery fire. My HIMARS can still do it, but we'll see what happens. Basically, I reach behind the battlefield with counter battery fire and I smoke his artillery off the table. So this scenario, in a nutshell, is Dylan gets Abrams, I get everything else. Also, I have to hit a beach. Okay, so that takes care of that. That was not very pleasant at all. Cool. We then go to your direct fire.
Yes. This hopefully will also not be very pleasant.
Okay, now a lot of this stuff did take opportunity fire on me, so...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's start with the Abrams up top.
Oh no! The Abrams finally gets to shoot at someone. Yep, this is gonna eat a big one.
Let's shoot at that toad, the toes there.
All right, cool. 26 versus 4. Oh wait. Oh. That actually becomes. I actually have a chance because that's a soft target. You're talking about this unit right here, right?
Yep.
So it's 26. It's actually 13. 13 versus 4, 3 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. Do you want to add any cannons to that? Any of the Tiger cannons?
No.
Are you sure? Because you only kill on a 1 or a 2 right now.
They took opportunity fire though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. They chopped up that attack. Yeah. So it's only 2 guns, and they only have like basically an A-class weapon has to divide in half when shooting at soft targets. So it's really a 13 versus a 4, and I have to add 1 to the die roll because of woods.
Yep. Too good. I'll give it a shot.
All right.
3 becomes a 4.
Pinned them down. Basically, the Humvees are really good at hiding because they're small.
Yep.
And some people who watch our channel might notice that I used to have A star for Abrams guns, basically dual class ammo. They were just overpowered. Because then it was like 56 points versus 4. You don't divide it in half. What is that, like 12 to 1? Just for blinking at them? I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the fire in the north. Not too much in the south either.
Okay, try to rally the stingers. I keep calling them stingers. Man pads.
5.
Because it's an exercise that does rally them.
Cool.
So they were like, man, this is a stupid exercise. We never even get to see the damn choppers. And the sergeant's like, look, don't get discouraged. Case of beer if you air quotes shoot down at least one of these stupid Marine helicopters. Okay, we rallied. We're good. Rumors of emus stalking the woods behind us have been proven false. So now they're brave again. All right.
I think the only other thing that didn't shoot down there was the javelins.
Yeah, the javelins definitely did not shoot at anybody. Oh God. They moved fast enough to avoid opportunity fire, but I forgot about that automatic spotted rule. So, yep, there's one of those tiny little hummingbird-sized drones with a little tiny laser on it, bouncing off this amp track here.
Yep, let's delete it with a javelin.
This does not divide because it's an armor class. G is armor piercing. All right, so it's 50 versus 5, 10 to 1, even with woods. Smoke. No dice required. You have to literally roll a 9. A 9 still kills them. You have to literally roll a 10 on a d6. So I think you're going to make that roll. Well, I humped up that freaking attack in the south, didn't I? Holy crap. Because guess what these guys don't have line of sight on? And vice versa. Because of 15, was that 14, 19? Jeez whiz, I just lost my whole front It's like Pickett's charge down there. All right. All right. Any other fire?
I don't think so. Unless I can shoot your drone with the machine gun on the top of my mortar's transport.
It's 2 point. It's a really tough shot. You might be able to pin him down. Well, he's worth 2 points. Well, actually, he's worth 1 point. He's more than 2 hexes away. So 1 to 8. That's technically illegal. However, this guy is not worth anything. This guy's worth 6. So 6 plus 1. Well, it's still only 1 to 2 odds. Might pin him down.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
All right, d6.
A 6. Yeah,
oh,
no way.
Missed. Sweet. We'll say that, yeah, because 6 versus 8 is the same as 7 versus 8. So this guy did not fire and thus give away his position. Although the mortar's shooting, so he's given away. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, they're spotted.
Yeah. All right. Even if I don't bounce a laser off of him. Which means there's no point for my stupid drone being there. There's no. Basically because this tree line just went up in like a Apocalypse Now sized wall of fire. Or it would have if it was real ammunition. Alright, cool. So that will wrap up turn 5. Turn 6. I have many things spotted. Alright, so calling in artillery. Oh, okay, both of my mortars are dropping HE on hex 1218. These guys here. So those are trees. Alright, so I got 2 attacks at 6. So it becomes 12. 2 to 1 on this guy. Heavy weapon section. 3 becomes a 4. He's pinned down. 2 to 1 on the javelins. Smoked. And 6 plus 6 is 12. Divide by 2 because of armored target. The Bushmasters. So that becomes a total of 1 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. Maybe if I roll my Marine Corps dice, I'll do better. 3 becomes a 4. That's my little. That's a present from Bruce Lee back on the old on tabletop site. So what did I say? That was a 3. 3 becomes a 4 on 1 to 1. He's pinned. So 2 pinned, 1 destroyed. That's it for my mortars. Yeah, mortars. They don't sound like they can do a lot, but they can drop smoke and they can pick off these little teams, which get annoying. Oh my god, I've taken so many casualties. Cool. Alright, and then what am I going to do? Okay, now my HIMARS. My HIMARS got to do something, man. Seriously. 50-point H strike. Or do I save them for the off-board artillery? Gotta make up my mind. Gotta make up my mind. HIMARS can counter battery with soft-fire artillery at 1 to a 3. I hit one of his batteries. Ugh. Alright, it's time to get lucky. I want that artillery off the table. HIMARS is streaking off the ship over the battlefield deep into Australia. We're going to try and take out that artillery. I need a 1, 2, or a 3. A 1. You've lost one battery of 155 millimeter guns. Sweet. Airstrike phase. These guys only have one gun left. They head off the table to go hunting after that remaining battery. So each one of them, since I don't have any missiles left, can only do it with their guns. I think it's a 1 or a 2. Yeah, if gunnery used, 1 or a 2. So they swoop off the table. I have 2 chances to get a 1 or a 2 to knock down that last battery. I missed. The last artillery battery survives, and I've got nothing else that can hit it. And that's it for the javelins. Javelins fly away. Or not the javelins, the lightnings. The F-35s. Oh boy. All right. Okay, we continue with direct fire phase. No line of sight, pinned down. I do have line of sight, just not on these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of range. However, I do have a heavy weapons team. That is worth a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are in range, but they're not within half, so I don't double. They're only worth 10. Ooh, this 8 does get to shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I have a total of 18. That's the grenade launcher in that AAV. Alright, so I have a total of 18 versus 6, 3 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. Smoked. That's it for the SAMs. Good night, sweetheart. Yeah, it's time to go. Look at the bright side. You're out of the battle. So you guys get, they like sit down, crack open a beer.
Yeah, just relax. Yeah.
The laser designator on their little H harness goes off. They're like, well, shit, I guess we get the rest of the day off. Let me get this out of the way. Alright, so I got a total of 24 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, unless I'm within half of armor targets. So yeah, I'm within half of armor targets. So I'm going to start chewing up these 1, 2, 3, 4. Although they do expose them to ground fire. Are any of these guys taking gunfire with their automatic cannon?
Both of them will. Yep.
Okay, that is going to be these two. That's 16 against 18, 1 to 2 odds.
Yep.
Come on, get lucky, get lucky.
Oh, a 1.
Damn it!
Ooh.
Dispersed. Alright, 24 left. Now that was their opportunity fire. That's going to be some good news. Because something else is coming. Cool. Now I have 24 versus, what am I going to shoot at now then? So that changes things. Think faster. I'm going to go after one of the boxers. Probably a dumb move. In fact, it is a dumb move. Hell no. I'm not going after a boxer. I'm going after this Bushmaster. Sounds crazy, but 24 versus 5 is a sloppy 4 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. 4 becomes a 5. He is only pinned down. Alright, cool. So now, pretty much everything is pinned down or has already fired. For the one guy here that hasn't shot yet. 1, 2 close assault on this hex, which they don't entirely get away with. These guys have something to say about it if they want.
They're going to have to, yep. Just to...
Okay, cool. That is going to be 2 points and 5 points, 7 points total, 1 to 2 odds.
Alright. A 2.
Pinned them down.
Oh, goodness. That would have been bad.
These guys saw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I definitely got range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it. Those AAVs don't. Okay, the AAV was in there, but they will not get a chance to shoot now. Armor targets. Oh, you're in concrete building. No, wooden buildings. Alright, so that is... I have to add 1 to the die roll. 12 points versus the APC. 2 to 1 odds, add 1 to the die roll. Smoked him. 1. Yeah, it's getting bloody now. I say bloody. This is all lasers and people cursing and swearing and laughing. But
Just in case anybody wondered why we weren't having combat in turn 2 or whatever.
yeah, this is why.
So I shoot, you shoot me, you shoot you. 3 different reactions. It's, yeah.
Alrighty, and to wrap up my movement phase. Rally this helicopter. 2, he does. He gets to move half his... This guy does not get to rally, he literally just got pinned down. This guy gets to move half his movement, but does not get to rally, or does not get to shoot. Javelin's off the hill. Although technically I can't see anything. Boom. Drone. Let me put the drone where I can keep an eye on 2 things at once. So he's high up on the hill there. He can see down into these town hexes and can still keep an eye on those mortars. In case I change my mind. Alright, that's going to wrap up my movement phase. Except for up here. Heavy weapons platoon. 1, 2. He ducks back into the woods, so I... Okay, unless these guys want to take an opportunity fire on him again. It's up to you.
Yeah, unless I don't really have any direct fire to do with them, so I'll take opportunity fire.
24 points. Are you engaging 1 or both, or... You have to add 1 to the die roll for, You have to add 1 to the die roll for woods.
So it's either 2 to 1 or... Yeah, no, I'll just engage 1.
Okay, so I'm assuming the, which one are you engaging? You got 2 12s, so 24 points.
Let's go for the Marine... the weapon platoon.
There you go. I was gonna say that's like,
3 to 1.
that's like Panzer Leader 101. Go for the even split. All right, so if 24 versus 8 is a nice clean 3 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll.
3 goes to a 4.
He survives because of the woods, but he does not get the cat attack. All right, finally the cat attack goes in. I finally get to put this stupid counter on the map. Assault! Alright, so here comes the Marines with their simulated sticky bombs. Although only some of them. That is going to be 8 versus 8. Cat attacks versus armor targets triple after 1970. This is clearly after 1970. 3-1. There's no engineers in there, so it stays at 3-1. Subtract 2 from the die roll. Subtract 2 from the die roll. Subtract a third from the die roll because he's dispersed. 3-1. Subtract 3 from the die roll. He literally can't survive that because once I hit 5, it's a double D. He's already dispersed. I'd have to roll an 8 to not get him. So he is smoked. That does count as an armored vehicle kill. Stacking purposes. Alright, yeah, now it's getting a little bit bloodier. What time period does a turn cover? Jennifer, in published Panzer Leader, the number is 6 minutes. That has been kind of disproven. It's really about 10 minutes. Although, who knows? In modern, it might be a little bit less. It might go back down to 6 minutes. But it's between like 6 and 12 minutes. Call it 8 or 10 minutes is what a turn is. Again, if the movement rate seems slow, it's because this isn't, like this here is not a single AAV-7. This is a platoon of 5 of them. So, if you're going to move that counter, you're the colonel. That colonel has to call a battalion commander. That battalion has to call a company commander. That company commander has to call a platoon leader. That platoon leader has to call his 5 TCs, and then they move. So it's not like just moving a single unit. If you've ever been on a road trip with like 5 cars, that cuts your time in half, right there. Or your progress in half. As opposed to just one car traveling by itself. The speed of the human herd is inversely proportional to the size of the herd. Okay, so that the cat attacks wrap up the turn. It's now Australian turn 6.
Okay. I don't need to plot new artillery because
you have 1 left. I
yes.
wasn't able to take out that last one.
Okay, I will plot that. Cool. That's all done.
Alright, we then resolve your... Okay, this smoke screen dissipates.
But I drop another one in 1702.
Oh, you okay? So this one starts
Oh, no, I
to
can't.
this
I
one
can't
starts to
because-
dissipate.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the smoke already on the table. Do you drop any more smoke this turn?
I drop it in 1702, but I just realized I can't because I have my own tank in that unit.
Yeah, technically that's not legal.
Yep. So that
All
can
right,
just
so yeah, roll a
That's not-
d6
that's
to
not-
see where it scatters.
cool. A 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it drifts down here. Basically, people start screaming over the radio. Stop dropping! Those are actual live shells, man. That's Willie Pete, man. You're gonna burn the paint off these tanks. Bad enough we have to wash them. This is just exercise talk, you know. Bad enough we have to wash them, get back to bivouac. Now we have to actually repaint them because you dropped white phosphorus on us. That's not cool. All right. Yeah, white phosphorus will still burn you, even if it's just an exercise.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. So, any actual HE artillery from your 1 remaining battery?
Yes.
All right.
On 1903.
1903.
I think it's in the north somewhere.
Oh yeah, 03 would be up north somewhere. 1903. 19. Oh no! Got him spotted. Oh no! All right,
It's
so
a tad overkill, but
believe it or not, not really. He's technically an armored unit. So your battery went down from 48 to 24 because you've only got 1 battery left. 24 divides in 2 against a armored target. 12 versus 4. 3-1. You have to add 1 to the die roll.
okay. Oh, Also, I rolled it on the table. A 2 goes to a 3.
2 becomes a 3. He's smoked. Barely. So no, it was not overkill. Okay, then we go to direct fire. Oh, I never tried to rally those toes. They do rally.
Okay, I'm now going to shoot at those toes.
You cannot. You are blocked by your own smoke screen.
Oh, that's right. Smoke screen, that's right.
The choppers can, but they took opportunity fire.
They did, that's right. What about that mortar vehicle back there? Can I see through those trees, or is that hex blocking?
Your mortar vehicle?
Oh, sorry, your one near Victor objective.
Oh, my mortar vehicle. No, yeah, the trees are blocking it.
Trees blocking, yeah, cool. All good?
That little company's holding on by its fingernails, man. Send in more lightnings. We have no more F-35s. Send in some HIMARS. Send in something. God help us.
So nothing in the north.
All right.
It's probably something down here.
Oh yeah, a lot of opportunity fire and almost everything. If nothing else, you have to rally a bunch of guys.
Yep.
All right, so everything is pinned. These 2 guys took opportunity fire against my helicopter.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I-class weapons are allowed to engage armored targets at hexes 2 or less. That's basically even if your range is longer than 2, I-class weapons, again, that's a law, an RPG, who knows what.
Yeah.
300 meters.
So no actual shooting down here. Everything seems to be.
All right,
sort of
so
pinned.
rally.
Yep. 6.
Does not rally. Rally.
Ooh. 5.
Barely rallies. Rally.
4.
Does rally.
I think that's everything.
Okay, any movement down here?
I'll move that Bushmaster down 1 hex in 916. Yep. Just to.
Ooh, sorry.
And yeah. That's everything in the south, and then the Abrams will do a bit of moving.
This guy's still alive. Why did my stupid JDAMs kill my JDAMs? My lightnings kill him.
Let's go 1803.
All right.
1903.
Okay, get him to the top. He just runs over that wrecked JTLV. All right, you can't overrun anything because they're all in wood, so no overruns are allowed.
Yeah. So that's 2 points of movement.
Technically 1, because you.
Oh, because of the road.
Yeah.
I'll go 1904. And then 2005. And then 2104.
No.
So. And then the helicopters will move into 2204.
2204.
There's SAMs or anything down south.
Well, my SAMs can see you no matter what because they're up on high ground now.
Oh, that's true.
They're finally
That's
unloaded.
true, yeah.
So actually, let me go ahead and take my poke. So let me get an opportunity fire counter so I don't forget them. I should have been better at using these opportunity fire counters anyway. Range of 30, the whole table's only 25 high, so yeah, I've got range. 50 versus, what are those? 20? 2 to 1s. I need to get lucky. Do it. Do it. 5. Hell no. Damn it. I did disperse one of them. So that Abrams cannot shoot at my mortar carrier, but the undispersed Tiger can, because helicopters can move and then shoot. It's kind of the point of being a helicopter.
Yep. Which he will do. Yeah.
All right, so 12 versus 5. Actually, you are shooting at an armored target, so you double 24 to 5. 6 to 1, add 1 to the die roll. Basically, don't roll a 6.
A 4 to 1, is it?
No, because you are 20. Oh, yeah, 24. Sorry, 24 to 5
Yep.
is 4 to 1, add 1 to the die roll.
I got a 1.
That's still a kill.
Yep.
Damn you. Marines are going to lose this game. Even with all my JDAMs and all my HIMARS. That's cool, though. It's a well-balanced game. I was afraid with all that support stuff, I was like being cheesy, giving the Marines too much stuff. That's the only thing they have against those Abrams.
There was a company of Abrams there. So That's that should be all my movement.
Okay.
I think I'm holding.
There's nothing
pretty
to
well.
rally down here. We already failed that rally. All right, cool. Begin turn 6. Or, I'm sorry, begin turn 7. We're getting near the end of it, guys. Ben says he's got to run, but he'll be back later. No worries at all. Thanks very much. Okay, what mortars I have left, we're hitting the same hexes before, 12, 18. It went from 12 down to 6. So 1 to 1 odds. 1 plus 2 becomes a 1 plus 1 becomes a 2. That kills the guy that was dispersed. And then 1 to 1 on this guy. Another 1. Who's that? You're lucky. 1 becomes a 2. On 1 to 1 is only a dispersed unit though, because Wood saved him. Alright, now we go to direct fire. Because my HIMARS do not shoot this turn. Cool, we go to direct fire.
Okay.
Alright.
Don't think I've got.
Oh, it's Marine direct fire turn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was gonna say.
So when he fired at my drone before, he became spotted to the toes. 50 points versus 5, 10 to 1. Even with a Woods bonus, I'd have to roll a 9 to not kill him. This guy is going to fire on the dispersed chopper. 8 points with machine guns versus 20. That is an ugly 1 to 3. I get to subtract 1 from the die roll because he's dispersed. And so a 2 will kill him. How lucky can I get? Give me a 1 or a 2. Do it! A 6. That's the opposite of what I wanted. Alright, cool. Try to rally this guy. He does rally with a 2. Oh, get that on the table there. But that's his turn. He cannot move. One, 2. Does the tank want to take opportunity fire?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Technically, the tank and the helicopter. Ooh. The tank is worth 13. The helicopter is worth 12.
I'll do it.
25.
Yep.
All right, 25, 2 to 1, 2 to 1, add 1 to the die roll.
All right.
Come on, give me a good number.
3. 3 goes
Becomes
to
a
4.
4, he's alive. He's just disordered, so no cat attack. Don't let Marines get close to your tanks. They will destroy you. And that was... Do a better job with these from now on. Opportunity fire. Okay, so these guys are all done. Get that out of here. Alright, heading further down. Oh boy, I gotta do something. Gotta do something down here. Despairing effort. Good news is, I got a lot of firepower. And I can do quite a bit. Eight points, doubles to 16. As long as I'm shooting at something unarmored. Ah, there's nothing unarmored in there. Damn you. Alright, I'll shoot at this guy. 8 points, 16. 10 points becomes 20 because I'm 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't. I'm not within 3. So 16 plus 10, 26. Plus 4, plus 4. I don't want to do that. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Alright, I'll just start over. 16, 6 only, 8 only, because he's not within half. So 16, 24, 29. And this 10 becomes 39. Basically, I got my 4 to 1. Oh, come on.
I think you need to roll those marine dice again.
That was the Marine dice.
Oh, okay.
It's being fickle on me now. I don't like it. More javelins. 50 points versus 8, 6 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll. 1. There we go. But I don't really need a 1. Smoke. He's just loading javelins into that tube as fast as he can. Alright, that was the javelin guy. The same guy already fired. These 3 have not yet fired. I should have moved them. They have split moving fire. I forgot to move them last turn. Can we say I fired these 3 as well, and instead of disperse, destroy
Yeah,
this
yeah,
unit?
sure, absolutely. Yep.
Because you're not allowed to attack him again.
Yeah,
Looks
no,
like
that's good. Yeah, all good.
Just to speed the stream along a little bit. That was all that fire. That smoke screen is now dissipated. Alright, split move. Okay, so these units, these 3, these 2. Don't double them, don't cheat. I did fire that weapons platoon, so these 2 rifle platoons have not yet fired. That's as far as I can go. Down here, I don't know if anyone wants to take opportunity fire on me. You've got a little machine gun here and an automatic cannon here. Pinned down, out of range.
Yeah, let's do machine gun autocannon.
Cool, that is a total of 8 points. Wait a minute. Sorry, 10 points versus 8, 1 to 1 odds. Add 1 to the die roll for my woods.
4 goes to a 5.
He gets away with it.
Ooh.
Cat attack. 10 becomes 20, becomes 30.
Ooh.
Because H-class weapon, cat attacks triple against units that are predominantly armored. Yes, those are both armored targets in there, barely. Bushmasters and JTLVs we are counting as armored targets. So it's 30 versus 13. It's only 2 to 1. Subtract 2 from the die roll for cat attack. Add 1 to the die roll for woods. what did I say, 30 versus 13? That's technically 1 to 1. Sorry, 2 to 1. Subtract 1 from the die roll. Come on, Marine Corps! Private Pile, you are definitely born again hard. Hell, I may even allow you to serve as a rifleman in my beloved Corps. Boom! What did I tell you about letting Marines get too close to your armor? Alright, you're too far away. Fired, fired. Okay, I'll try to rally. Fail! Oof. The other one does rally. Of course, the one that's close. Alright, my Excel is freaking out. Sorry about that. Recovered. The one that's close fails through. I know that's far away. Alright, so guys that fired, they're now going to use split move and fire. Try and... okay, so movement phase. Well, clearly I'm in movement phase. I'm already doing cat attacks. Not him, this guy. They can spend half their movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for crossing a stream. Come on with the map. Do that over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now that I'm within 4 hexes, my little... I almost said hand buzzer. That would have sounded bad. Oh wait, I just said it anyway. My little hand drone, my miniature drone, has them spotted now. Also these guys. Let me be careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, there's 2 infantry platoons over there. M113s. There's a sizable little battle group in there. You gotta be careful. He fired, he fired. Opportunity fire counter's gone. Alright, last but not least, try to rally that helicopter. Helicopter does rally, does not get to attack this turn. The other 2 helicopters. Close to within half range. Get out of the way. All 3 will move here, but only 2 get to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I'm going after that command vehicle that's got nobody in it. Nevertheless, it's a unit in my way. So it becomes... Now, it's got a 5 defense. It's in concrete buildings. Gray buildings. So it gets 5 additional defense factors. That's basically worth 10 right now. 24, 24, 24. Because I double against armor targets within half range. 72 versus 10, 7 to 1 odds. I have to add 1 to the die roll, even with the 1. Basically, that turretless boxer just went up. Now it gets bloody. Killed 4 units this turn. Though I did get lucky with a cat attack. Alright, I think I'm finally done down here. Do I need anything else spotted? My drone can still do something. 1, 2, 3, 4. My drone's no longer needed down here because everything down here is spotted. So my drone's going to fly up north somewhere. Alright, that's going to be it for my turn. Ooh, wait. Sorry. Be smart, Be cool. Be careful. All right, drones spotted or plotted. All right. I just took opportunity fire, so I can't rally him. That tow missile does not get split movement fire, so I can't move that Humvee this turn. Destroyed him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. Oh, never mind. Oh, he already took opportunity fire. What am I doing? So that cost me 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Actually, I'm just gonna get chewed up by gunships if I do that. I'll stay in the woods for now. Alright, cool. That's it for my movement. Over to you for Australian turn 7.
Okay. First off, artillery.
Yeah, plot your last mission.
Yes, this is gonna have to be.
The game ends on turn 8, obviously.
Yep.
Holy crap, we've been up almost 4 hours. Jen says, poor Jim, his dice are letting him down again. No, I've had pretty good dice. I rolled a couple ones in a row. I got a pretty good roll on that cat attack. Pretty sure I'm still losing the game, but I might be able to steal a couple axes here.
I've got next turns plotted.
Alright, let's execute this turns.
So it's...
This smoke screen starts to dissipate. We already took off the one that was down here. Alright, and alright, what are you doing?
Mortars firing HE and the artillery battery both into 1804.
That sounds like it's up north. 1804. Oh no! My poor tow missiles. Yeah, you totally had spotted from several people, so that's cool. That is an unarmored target. Humvees are unarmored. Oh god. Now this is overkill. 24 plus 6 is 30 versus 4. That's 7 to 1. Even with woods, he's smoked. This battlefield doesn't look like an exercise. It looks like a real battlefield. Okay, we go now to your direct fire.
Okay, the... What can direct fire? Let's have a look.
I don't think anything in the north.
No, I think it's all sort of done in the north. Even in the south. Yeah.
Yeah, Australian firepower is finally starting to break. I just didn't go fast enough.
I got a few things here in the south I could shoot. Not that they're very good, but...
Yeah, because they were out of range before I moved, and now that I've moved, they are now in range. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing else. We got. You try to rally that. Before we lose track of it, try to rally that helicopter. You're hot.
A 5.
Does rally? I'm pretty sure only one of those hots has fired an anti-tank missile.
I think so, yeah. Only one.
So you got plenty of missiles left. Okay.
Try and rally the other unit.
Okay, the heavy weapons section.
A 3.
Rallies. Unfortunately, that's his turn.
Yep.
Cool.
Pretty much everyone's
In the
just gonna have
south,
to
you've
fire.
only got like 5 units.
Yeah. They're all going to have to fire into that 1321 with the 2 vehicles there.
All right. The problem is some of them won't be able to see it. They're blocked by that hex, but these 2 guys can. Basically, the colonel takes out his pistol. Much more formidable, this infantry platoon gets to shoot. So you got a grand total of, unless you're going to launch a cat attack. Is the colonel going to pick up a satchel charge? Put down the coffee, sir. Pick up this grenade. We've got to go after some LAVs.
That is an objective hex, though, so I don't really want to move off that.
Well, in my effort to win Sportsman of the Year award, you don't actually move off of it. Which is infuriating most of the time. When you take a hex in close assault, you don't occupy the hex. In this case, it actually kind of works in your favor.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will launch a cat attack.
Okay, so I just want to see, because I've never seen a headquarters unit in a cat attack before. the colonel literally picks up a sticky bomb and says, "Lads, I'm going in it with you." We got a grand total of 8 points, triples to 30. Against 10, it's 3-1. Subtract 1 from the die roll.
Okay. A 1.
Oh, they're totally smoked. Also, this is something, I wish Ben was still on the stream. Maybe he'll see this later. This is almost a secret thing that happens in Panzer Leader. A little something we like to call intermingled ret counters. Ret counters of the 2 sides in the same hex. It doesn't happen often, but it's glorious when it does. That's the sign of a fierce battle right there. Okay. That pretty much wraps, well, unless these guys shoot at somebody. Technically, cat attacks end the turn, but I did a cat attack earlier. Do these 3 guys want to do anything?
No, they'll wait for opportunity fire.
Cool. Alright, so then we go to turn 7. Okay. I gotta be careful here. Does spot. Barely. Or hold on, does it? Whoa. What did I write? 1 to 4. Sorry, it does not spot. Damn it. I'm glad I checked. These guys are destroyed. I almost cheated. Live on camera. I'd never live it down. Alright, cool. So, never mind. These guys are not spotted. That's... Or at least steal objective Yankee. Now, if I do that, you've got enough firepower. Well, that is an objective hex. No, he'll be smoked. He will be smoked. I mean, I could do it, but you would cat attack me on the next turn. Out of hex 603, 0603. The odds would be 10, 30 to 3. Actually, concrete hex 30 to 8. Be 3 to 1. It's still possible. The odds are with me. The odds are with me. All right, so I'm still going to do that. Okay. Nevertheless, I can't drop HIMARS on him because he won't be able to. I don't have him spotted. This guy is spotted. These two are not. So my drone crapped out on me. All right, cool. So where are my HIMARS going? My HIMARS are going on that tank. 50 points versus 24. 2-1. Except it's an H-class weapon. Divide my 50 into 25. 25 versus 24. 1-1 odds. And it, I get to ignore the two bonus points there because I'm shooting from the top, so I'm going past the Chobham. Oh, so 25 versus 24 straight. 1-1 odds. Come on, camera, get in focus so everyone can see my doom in crystal clarity. Oh boy. You never know. You never know. Come on, 1-1, give it to me. A 3, he's dispersed. That's it for my artillery. I might actually pull this off. Okay, direct fire phase. Because we're just done with artillery. Direct fire phase. Sam. 50 points versus 20, 2-1. This would be sweet. Give it to me. 2. That is a shot down helicopter. Odds, it was the one with 2 missile strikes left. Evens, it was the one with 1 missile strike left. You want to roll that?
Sure.
Again, odds, it was the one with 2 missiles.
It was a 3.
So it was the one with 2 missiles. So the one that's left only has 1 missile strike left.
Nice.
Okay, any other direct fire? Yes. Down here for direct fire. Oh, much direct fire. The problem is... Okay, it gets hairy from here. Everything in there is soft. Sweet. 16 doubles H-class. 6 does not double A-class. 16 and 6 is 22. Plus another 16. Plus another 6. 44 points versus 5 and 11 is 16. I really did not want to send these helicopters. All right, let's see how close this can get. This one's coming down to the wire, guys. Here's how close this one's going to come. There is line of sight between those two hexes, so I move all the junk out of the way. Center dot to center dot. It does clear these woods, and it does clear this town hex. So now that becomes 64 versus 5 for the concrete buildings, 8, 16. 64 versus, what did I say, 16? 4-1 odds? Let me add all that up, make sure I've got that right. Weapons platoon is worth 20 at this range. LAV 25 is only worth 6. AAV 7, 1, 2, whoa, I did make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that second AAV in 1623 is only worth 8. I did make a mistake. 20 plus 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus the other one is worth 16. He's within 3. It's 56, not 64. That makes a difference. because I just dropped from 3 to 1, from 4 to 1 to 3 to 1. So 56 is the magic number. You have 8 plus 3 plus 5 for the town is 16. 56 divided by 16, that's 3 to 1. These engineers can't see. Weapons platoon can't see. Can't see, because I forgot to move him, because I'm a dumbass. I really wanted 4 to 1. I didn't want to do it, but I've got to do it. One of these helicopters throws in his 12. Gives me the 4 to 1. 4 to 1, add 1 to the die roll. 2 becomes a 3. 4 to 1, units are both smoked. Those are not armored units. Damn it. Okay, so this guy is spoken for. The other two, let me try to rally this guy. Remind me not to let him cat attack. 5, he does barely make it. Okay, now we're going to do movement phase. This javelin never fired. So before I get into that, javelin fires into this M113 just for fun. 10 to 1 odds, even with the thing he smoked. Thank you, drones. Not that that's going to matter. Send it back. It's just I got to do it. Alright, so that's all the fire down here. Movement phase. Close to within half. Okay, opportunity fire if you want from your helicopter.
Yes.
Okay, to defend your tank, because your tank's about to get chain gunned. That
Yep.
is going to be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think that ever doubles. No, within 5, I think it's normal. Let me check. It's normal. Within 5 and 6, it's normal. Okay, cool. So it's 12 versus, if you pin them down, maybe you'll disrupt one of them. It's 1 to 2 odds. 12 versus my 18.
Cool. A 2.
That does disrupt one of them. Which may have just saved the battle. Because I was going to drop 48 points, 2 to 1 on a dispersed Abrams section. Now I've only got 24, because I'm within half. I doubled. 24 to 24 is 1 to 1 odds. It's an A-class weapon. I do not have to worry about chop 'em. It is 1 to 1. Subtract 1 from the die roll. Oh, baby. This could do it. I think I need a... let's see for the chat. What do I need? The whole, 4 people we have left. I'm surprised we have that many. 1 to 1 odds. Subtract 1 from the die roll. I need to roll a double D. My favorite result. Anyway, a 1 through a 4. 4, a subtract 1 for you being dispersed is right as the 3. A double D kills a dispersed unit. Turn on the camera. Drum roll, please. Marine Corps, do it. A 4, exactly. All right. We then go to the rest of movement phase. Split move and fire. 1, 2. Opportunity fire. Technically, it's allowed.
I will, yep.
All right. You have 13 points versus 5. Crap. That's 2 to 1.
Cool. A 3.
Pins him down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many wrecked units are in there? 1 wrecked actual wreck counter. So long story short, I can only put 2 units in there. That hex is now max stacked. Put him in there just because. That stack, that hex can only fit 1 unit. Not that it really matters at this point. So we will instead move him north. Does not get to because he just rallied. Does not get to because he fired. This is heavy weapons section. Take opportunity fire against my Marine Corps counterattack coming in from the southeast.
I will, yes.
Okay, because there are combat engineers in there. That means I get to subtract 3 from the die roll. Not telling you what to do, but that combat engineer might be who you want to take out. You are within short range on an H-class weapon, so you double to 24. Another reason you should attack the combat engineers. You get 3 to 1 on them.
Yep, let's take it the combat engineers.
Cool. So 3 to 1 on the combat engineers.
A1.
Kill them. The 8 goes in. 8 versus 6. 1 to 1. Subtract net 1 from the die roll. Actually, it doubles. 16 to 6. 2 to 1. It doubles. It does not triple. No, that's doubled against armored targets. Never mind. Ooh, I almost screwed up again. It is 8 to 6. It's 1 to 1. Net subtract 1 from the die roll. 4 becomes a 3 on a 1 to 1 spend. That doubles against armored targets pre-1970. So does not apply here. That's a wrecked Marine unit that goes up here. Okay, that is all my movement down here. Scrolling up. That was opportunity fire. 1, 2. 1. Oh, I can't really get to it. Try to rally this guy. 5, he does succeed, but that's his turn. And now for the chancy part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, that's a wheeled unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now here's your choice. Hold on. Let me see if I can take that choice away from you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No one's within 2 yet. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18. No, I can't reach it. The only way I can reach it is to barrel straight down this road, and once I come within 2 hexes, these guys get to use their I-class attack, and you're going to pretty much shoot them off the road. Someone in those platoons has a law rocket, or a Carl Gustav or something. So I can threaten that hex, but I thought I could take it. Turns out I can't actually take it. That concludes Marine turn. We are now on the last half of the last turn. I thought I could grab 3 objective hexes, I only grabbed 2, but right now, technically, I am winning. Yep. 1, 2, 3 hexes. I thought I could grab 4, but I'm like 3 hexes too far away. Alright, there's no artillery to plot, so just execute your last turn's artillery.
Yep. 15, 20. Both came down.
Your mortar and your 1 remaining 155 and 15, 20, 15. Uh-oh. Yay! Looks like it was right here.
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Okay.
Well, it scatters anyway because no one's alive that can still see it. But no worries.
Yeah.
There's no one there. And even if it's scattered, it wouldn't land on anyone. All right, to your direct fire.
My direct fire, I will drop my... Oh, no, I did opportunity fire with the helicopter. I don't think I actually have any direct fire.
Yeah.
Oh, in the north, yeah.
Well, he's fired. These
He's
guys have
fired.
nothing in range, but they can move and counterattack if they want during the movement phase.
That might not be a good idea.
Well, you're only up against 3 points of machine gun fire.
That's true.
There is some helicopters. It's up to you. It doesn't matter at this point because I can't take that objective X.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have any direct fire.
All right, let's try to rally your heavy weapon section.
Yep. A2.
He does rally. I think that's it. So we go to your
Yeah.
movement.
Yep. I don't really have any movement.
All right, I think unless there's anything that I'm missing, I think that's game.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh my god. So it came down to the last half of the last turn. Yeah, pretty much the last turn. 1-by-1 objective X. Occupied by empty Humvees. This one's pretty well occupied down here, although it's just, holy crap, man. Objective X-ray is just... Where the hell is it? It's just a fire. Again, thank goodness this wasn't a real battle. Otherwise, this town has seen better days. If you ask,
Yeah, that's
if you ask me, any game that has intermingled rec counters of the two different sides in the same hex is always a success. But yeah, my problem was just getting into position. It literally took me like 3 or 4 turns to get the SAM position up here and to get these javelins going. I'm surprised no artillery ever hit those javelins.
yeah.
'Cause once those javelins fired once, I guess I should have put a spotted counter on them. Pretty much once they shoot, they're spotted. And once
I
they
should have
got,
held back with my.
oh yeah, up here, this hex right here. If that one smoke screen had landed here, yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I should have waited another turn. Made sure I had full smoke and then moved up. Yeah.
I mean, you can't hide from lightnings, from F-35s forever. But if 2.5 stacks of Abrams get at least one whack on somebody, that's going to make a big hole.
Yeah.
I mean, as it turned out, you pretty much cracked this wing anyway. I just managed to steal something back, again with artillery. But now we know why the Ukrainians want those HIMARS systems.
Yeah, those things are pretty good. So,
Again, they only attack with 25 against the tank, so they're not that great, but they're good at pinning them down. And once they get pinned down, then something else can go in and get them. Because again, they don't have like any kind of, they're not like a Copperhead. Like an anti-tank guided weapon comes out of the missile. There's nothing precision about it, really. They are guided, but they don't, they're still area effect weapons. So they come down, they explode, and again, they put that hail. I can't remember how many tiny little shrapnel pieces. Like these, like basically ball bearings, just a hail of ball bearings in a shaped charge downward. It's basically like God pointed a shotgun down at you and just pulled the trigger. It's, it just, needless to say, that does a number on Russian artillery positions, Russian missile sites. That's what the Ukrainians are using them for. Is it going to damage the tank? Probably not, but again, it is attacking the roof armor, where there's no chobum and it's the thinnest part of a tank. It's definitely the top. The bottom has some armor because of mines and just road hazards. But the top has very, very little. And even if you don't get through the armor on a top-down attack, that's why the javelins are doing so well over there. You're going to knock off all the machine guns, you're going to blind all the periscopes, all the cameras, all the remote-controlled weapons, smoke dischargers, anything secondary on that tank is gone. If you can attack it from the top. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Dylan. I definitely appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. That was a fun game.
It came close. If one or two of these rolls down here in the south hadn't panned out, or if I hadn't shot down that second helicopter.
Yeah, or if I could have got my tanks up without being blown up and sort of sweep down from the north.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that happened. I'm not gonna lie. At the same time,
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta take that chance.
That was me being too impatient.
If I don't take that chance, again, I would have gotten that chance eventually, but instead of what was it on turn 4? Instead of turn 4, no, it was early. It was on turn 3. Turn 4 is when I actually dropped it. Okay, cool. So yeah, it would have happened on turn 5 or turn 6 eventually. So again, the F-35s are going to get their day sooner or later, but still, I mean, that would have. I never would have had enough forces left in the north to recover and retake objective Victor the way I did. At least I don't think. So, yeah, awesome. Great game. It did take a while. We're up 4.5 hours. Holy crap. Bill's going to kill me. Thanks very much, Nathan Gunn says, well played. Yes, thanks very much. I definitely appreciate it. Well-balanced game. I hope so.
I think so.
I hope it felt that way. It came down to the last turn. And
Yep.
if any of these rolls had failed, I had to shoot down that helicopter. These guys had to succeed with, oh yeah, I mean, what was this? It was 24. I needed a 4 or less. I could have failed that. I could have not. They all had to happen. If any of those had missed, cumulative, I would have only wound up with 2 objective X's. Either this one, or this one and this one. Turns out I did grab both of them because I thought I could steal number 4 up here, but I couldn't. So I just miscounted the hexes. So if either X-Ray or Victor had held out another half of a turn, that would have been a Marine defeat.
Yeah.
But luckily for everybody involved, this was not a real battle. This was an exercise. The exercise is now over. There's now a huge barbecue on the beach. We post a couple sentries to keep the crocodiles away. Other than that, everyone gets to ride off into the sunset. The only thing that's a problem, maybe some of the vehicles, like that one Amtrak that fell off the boat. Some guys in maintenance have some work to do tomorrow. Other than that, everyone gets a 96-hour pass. Awesome.
Nice. And if you know anything about the way Australians throw parties in the military,
Oh God.
they normally involve. There was one a few years ago that involved demotions and I think or barely missed prison time.
I was going to say, that might be the real battle. Who throws the wilder party? The Marines, or especially Marine amphibious assault guys. Those guys are nuts. Jen says, hey, I want... the crocodiles want some barbecue too. The crocs. Dude, what do you think we're having for the barbecue? The crocodiles come up out of the water to bite us. We shoot them up, and that's good eating, man. Come on. There's at least a couple guys in that Marine platoon from Alabama, Georgia, or Florida. They know how to cook up alligators. Crocodiles can't be that different. And there you go. All right, guys, taking off. Be in touch later on this week, and don't work too hard. Monday coming up. Take care, everybody. We'll talk again real soon.